Interesting. The odd and the bizarre people behind the, interesting. The odd and bizarre stories. Jay gets in it, stirs it up, and spits it out. He's a professional. It's all here on The Jay Thomas Show with Rodney Lee Conover, Julie, Madison, Kevin Meaney, Garrett and Kristina, and Ira the Weatherman. This is The Jay Thomas Show.
Yep. My turn? All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, we've had emails and some calls about Ira. We announced it yesterday. He got a stent put in his heart that opens I don't know what it opens, but something, it opens something or other. And it means that he did a stress test. And I guess from the stress test, they could tell that one of his arteries was closed. And so they immediately, gave him a stent, and I guess he said did he say he was feeling? He said he was feeling better yesterday. He did not want to talk on the air.
He is on line one,
and let's talk to Ira on line one. Ira, how are you?
Jay.
Oh my God! You know what? I'm not kidding. Now, Garrett, you don't feel any. I know you do, Kristina. Don't you feel a little sadness? Is there not a tear in your eye?
Of course there is.
For who?
For Ira.
For Ira.
And, you go in for procedures, and sometimes unplanned happenings happen. And
stop. Hold it. Don't get
God
me
forbid.
nuts. You've already spit 4 times into the microphone.
Here we go. I have dental problems.
1 second, Ira.
You cannot
I'm going to put
me.
a stent in somewhere in your mouth.
I have the worst dental problems.
No, it isn't a dental problem. It's quiet, Ira. We know you're dying. It's microphone. It's the way you use the mic. I'm just move it back a little bit from your mouth and to this. Okay, that's fine.
Good.
Kristina, you're doing a beautiful.
Thank you, Ira.
You have to pick. Hold. I know Ira's dying, but this is so important. This popping of the piece. You're not dying.
Jay,
What are you?
I will surprise you next week.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Now, how big is the scar that they ripped open in your chest to fix your heart?
No, they did not rip a scar off of my chest. Jay.
They didn't? What do you mean?
They
What
ripped
happened?
it from my hand, from my arm.
I see. I see.
Yes.
Now, did it hurt?
The arm, from the vein to the arm.
Really?
Yes.
So
the vein hurts a little bit.
The vein hurts a bit. Okay.
Yes, but everything went along smooth. Columbia Presbyterian have the best nurses and the best doctors.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, Yes.
Now, you know who was in that hospital way back. Bill Clinton was in that hospital.
So the President of the United States, was that one of your favorite presidents, Bill Clinton?
Yes, he is.
Now, what did he do that makes you like him so much?
Well, he did a lot for the United States.
He took care of the old people and the poor people and stuff.
That is right.
Then he opened an office. He opened an office in Harlem. Did you know
Harlem. That is right.
He eats these things called chitterlings. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
That is a pig's insides that's culturally cooked normally by people of an island or African, ancestor. That's right, island or African ancestry. It may be called, Garrett, chitlins by a less educated group of individuals, but I know it as chitterlings.
Ooh.
So have you ever had a chitlin, a piece of pork inner, Ira?
Chitlins, yes.
Yeah, chitlin. You've had chitlins?
Yes, I did.
They're stinky when they're being cooked, but they're actually pretty good.
Very,
once you
very
put them
awful.
over
Very awful.
They are awful, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, Ira, look, by the way, you claimed that September the 7th, the drought would be over in Texas and Oklahoma. I've got the sign right in front of me. So I don't know if that's a Wednesday or not, but no, I think that's next. That is next Wednesday, Garrett. I think it is.
Oh, good. I'll be in that day, Jay.
We'll find out if you're correct. Ira, are you resting? Are you getting plenty of sleep?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Ira, did they give you any pain pills?
Yes, they did.
Have you taken them?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Bring them to work with you, Ira. Bring them to
I can't bring them to work with me.
Yes, bring them to... No, bring them to the studio.
No, I take them in the morning.
Bring the pills, and when you come to the studio, I'll come in and I'll take one with you.
Uh-huh.
I love those pills.
I'll trade you one for a cigarette.
Pills.
Yeah, well, I tell you what.
Those pills are hot pills. You don't need any hot pills.
Oh, I thought you said they were... No, we're talking about pain pills.
Sex pills.
Yeah.
Then I would give it.
Now let me ask... Booyah, yeah. Let me ask you a question, Ira. Have they said that because of this stent put in your heart, sometimes it could affect your sex drive or the workings of the down below?
Yes, you can't have any sex for a few days.
Oh, they told you. How is that? How is that for you?
So.
Just so. Is Norma there?
No, she is not. She stepped out.
Because I wanted to talk to her. So this woman that lives there, is she taking care of you, or she's not paying attention to you?
Oh, she's a lovely person. She even picked me up from the hospital today.
Oh, okay. Well, then good.
My stuff and everything.
Well, she's a good person. All right.
Yes.
Well, Ira, we're glad you're okay. And
Jay, I'm gonna live till 1,000 years old.
Well, there you go. So then, do we look for you Friday morning, or are you?
No, not Friday morning. Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Ira, we are so glad you're okay. All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, I love you. Love you, Ira. Thank you.
Thank you. Where's Shuley?
I don't know. Where is he? He's getting a stent. Garrett, what's he getting?
He was supposed to pick up Ira at the hospital.
No, he wasn't.
Did you meet him?
We don't know where Shuley is.
Did not.
Oh.
All right. See you later.
Okay, Jay. Okay, Garrett.
See you later, Ira.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like the way you say, you're up, Jay. You're up, Jay.
Hold it a second. Ira, do you, you sound like you feel great, but do you feel differently from before you had the stent to now? Can you feel more blood?
A new man.
No, but are you just saying that, or do you really feel differently?
I really mean it. I feel different.
Wow. So there's more blood.
I feel happier. I got a new heart.
No, I don't think you have a new heart. I think they just put a little something that opened one of the blood vessels.
Opened one of the vessels up.
Yes. So more blood. It's like having you don't have a car, but like having a blood transfusion in a way. It's allowing the blood, to flow more freely. It's almost like cleaning out the crankcase of a car.
That's right. Cleaning up the old and bringing in the new.
Well, that's good. All right. Did they tell you to watch your diet? Not eat so many fatty foods? Not too much. Fatty foods like cheese. You like cheese?
Cheese, but diet cheese you can have.
Diet cheese. Well, I wouldn't have any cheese. What about cake? Do you like cake?
Cake, yes.
How about fried food? You like things fried?
Fried food, yes. But I don't have any fried food.
I know. You're not supposed to have any fried food. You're not supposed to have any oil. A lot of olive oil you can have, but you can't just, What about, let's see, you like cookies?
Cookies, yes.
What about cigarettes?
Cookies.
What would they tell you to do about, you're a smoker. What would they tell you to do about smoking?
Oh, can't smoke anymore. If I want to go back to phase 2, then smoke. If I don't want to go back to phase 2, then stop smoking altogether.
How many phases are there? What would be the highest and worst phase?
Phase 2.
No. It must be something higher than that, like phase 5.
Phase 5. If you want to die, smoke.
Right. Well,
he's going to be one of those preachers now, Garrett.
We ought to put him on the side of a package of cigarette. You want to smoke? Die. You don't want to smoke? Right. Live. Okay. Are you going to be able? Yes.
That smoking that Garrett does. That Kristina does.
That Ira does.
I wish they would stop right now.
This coming from the guy that comes downstairs and looks at Garrett, Julie, and I and goes, sig.
That won't happen anymore, Kristina.
Do you think...
watch my step.
Now wait, do you think this is one day after the the stint, right? Do you think that you are going to be able, without help or patches or something, just to quit smoking cold turkey?
That's right. If I don't smoke at home,
yeah,
then I don't have to smoke anyplace else.
Have you thrown out all of the cigarettes in your apartment?
Yes, I did, Jay.
Now, does Norma smoke?
No, she does not.
Well, that helps.
She doesn't like any cigarettes.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I think it's going to be good for you.
I'm going to get Kristina off her cigarettes, Garrett off her cigarettes, and Brother Shuley, Juco's Wild, off her cigarettes. It's burning their pockets up completely.
No, you were burning our pockets up.
All right.
Ira, you want to go around the corner and go to phase 2?
No, I'm going to go to phase 5.
All right.
No smoking whatsoever.
That would be a good name for a tobacco shop, wouldn't it? Phase 2. Yeah. And what I would do is, if I owned a tobacco shop, I would take an enlargement of all of the pictures that are on the sides of the packages, like Canada has, I think, worse ones than we have. And,
I don't want to go to the other world. I thought I was in the other world the other day.
Really? You thought you were going to... Did you have an out-of-body experience when they put you asleep?
Jay, with that kind of procedure, they don't put you to sleep. The doctor told me every little bit what he's going to do.
Oh.
You mean you stayed awake? Could you watch the wire go inside of your heart?
No, I did not. No, there's no wire goes into the heart. It goes into the veins.
I know, but the veins lead to the heart, see?
That's right.
Right. So what I'm saying is they're looking at a screen, and you were a little bit knocked out, and
No, I was looking up in the air.
You look straight up. You didn't say, "Can I see what's going on and turn the screen around so I can see it?"
No, I could not. And when they pinched me in the arm, I didn't even feel nothing whatsoever.
Of course not. They'd given you some pills already.
That's right.
That's right. They give you the pills, and you don't. They could
all together.
They could be
like going to a dentist's office and getting numbed, getting the Novocaine.
Get numbed up. Now, did anybody? Sometimes they want to see if you have any pain at all. Did anybody pinch your nipples while you were laying on the?
No, they did not.
Oh. No. Okay. All right. Did they shave you?
Yes.
Yes. Where?
Where my balls are. Because the doctor went through my arm.
But they shaved your balls anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, then they definitely pinched your nipples.
I think you went to the nutty hospital. That's where you went.
Oh, I did not.
So they shaved your balls, then they go through your arm. That's like when you go to an eye doctor, they go, "All right, you better be taking all your clothes off." Let's see what's going on here.
Prostate
Okay, Ira, cool. I'm glad you're good. I'll see you in a week, okay?
Jay!
Yeah.
Give him a Garrett.
Garrett.
Tina.
Yeah.
Have a good afternoon. The weather's beautiful. Go out. Smoke a lot. Tell me how you feel later on.
Right. Please call us Friday morning so everybody on the Friday morning show at Howard
All right,
101
Jay. I
find out about
will.
you. Okay. All right. I love you. Thank you, Ira. Okay.
Okay, Jay.
See you, Ira.
Bye. Bye.
I have to tell you, either he's excited about being, okay, or it's really worked for him.
Or he's high on pills.
Ooh, that's good.
No, that's another thing.
Yeah,
Could be high on some pills. So with me, I took I've took this, not just a stress test. They put isotope in you and whatever. The heart of a 12-year-old child, I was told.
Wow.
Heart of a 12-year. I know.
Emotionally.
You know what? Right, as all that also. But you know what? There was hard trouble on my mother's side of the family, but there were a lot of smokers, and of course they probably ate all kind of stuff. I unnaturally don't eat a lot of cheese and meat and stuff like. I eat a little bit, but not a lot of it. And I've always worked out. So so nothing.
Wow. And
my brother, he eats, he drinks, he does everything. Big fat guy, he's fine. Oh, my cholesterol's a little high. Really? Yeah. He's always going, I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm tired. You weigh 280. Fucking, why don't you slim it down? So no Shuley, huh?
I guess
no
not.
Shuley. Well, no one's heard from him. And still it makes no difference around here. Makes no difference. You can either come to work or not come. The only person that needs to come to work is Ira. If he doesn't make it, we're in real trouble.
He was spotted at work today.
Ira?
No,
Shuley was spotted in the hall?
Yeah.
He was in the hall? Right.
Maybe he has shit to do. I don't know.
You know what? I don't know either. I don't know. But, I'm too easy, Yeah. When you were a kid and your dad would get mad at you and you'd go, you better be quiet or I'm going to see that policeman over there? I'm going to go tell that policeman. And you kind of get scared. You kids better be quiet. I'm going to pull over and I'm going to put you kids out of the car. You ever hear that one, Kristina? Ever?
Yeah. Well, no, I'll turn this thing around or don't make me come back there.
Did they ever come back there or turn the thing around?
Never.
All right.
They would remove me from places.
Garrett, prepare yourself and get ready to run my special report coming up with. Now, we have. First of all, I have a cool dad and a cool mom today, a double, never done before. The mom and the dad are cool, and then in a few moments, a dad who did what he said he was going to do. Let's go to Carl of Wisconsin, and on top of that, Garrett, a life lesson. I'm going to give a life lesson for those of you that are divorced and you try and have a girlfriend or boyfriend with the children of another person. A life lesson is coming up. Plus, a dad who said he would do something and he in fact did it, and a cool mom and a cool dad. Listen. I don't fucking know how I do it, and I'm me. Let's go to Carl of Wisconsin.
Hey, Jay, how are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Good. Without a doubt, I've had Sirius for 7 years. Mm-hmm. That was the best 15 minutes of radio I've ever heard.
For 7 years you've had Sirius, and Ira talking about his stint was the best radio
I love your show. I love Ira.
Well, but that's not the best radio we've ever heard. Are you nuts?
That guy kills me.
He's just talking. What's so funny about him? I wish I could steal that act, Garrett, because I'm so jealous. I'm not jealous of Shuley. I'm not jealous of Howard. I'm jealous of Ira because people just think he's so fucking great, and he's not trying to do anything. That aggravates the shit out of me.
Hey, when he had that Rent Too Damn High on, and he said I smoked chronic and now I'm too damn high, that was my second favorite moment on your show.
He yelled out the guy. He was too damn. How about today yelling "booyah" every other,
That's a kicker. But
it is.
That dude just fucking kills me.
Well, he is by the way, did he not sound like he was a new man? I mean, all kidding aside, do you feel differently after those stints? I feel like getting one just for the hell of it,
I doubt if that cheap bastard threw out his cigarettes when they're $13 a pack in New York.
He doesn't buy his own cigarettes.
Doesn't buy cigarettes.
He steals them from us. Well, not steals.
My God.
He borrows.
Yeah, he borrows, whatever. Yeah, it's very cheap. Very cheap. He's like, like a depression baby. I'm sure his parents, kept telling him, how bad it was way back when and all that bullshit. Oh, God, it drives me nuts. My mother-in-law saves like cling wrap. What did you call that? Saran wrap.
Saran wrap. My
she
grandmother
saves
does too. And the
washes
aluminum
it.
foil.
Saves it. I say
freezes everything.
I say balloon foil.
Till he goes to phase 2, you'll have to go open his mattress if he's living that depression life.
Yeah, no, I bet you he has a ton of money stashed in that place somewhere. Yeah, and then of course the taking $200 or $300 to Atlantic City to win $18. That's unbelievable to me.
Not bad.
Not bad. Carl of Wisconsin, I'm glad you found that to be the best 15 minutes of radio in 7 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Love your show. Bye.
Okay, thanks a lot. Ken of Virginia. Hey, Ken, it's Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay, I was listening to your show, and I'm glad to hear Ira's doing good. What I had to ask was, what's that cheap Jew doing at the Presbyterian Hospital?
No. First of all, those are just the names of there's the Columbia Presbyterian, then there's the New York Hospital, I think is when Rodney Conover had his aneurysm, and we were on the way west side by Madison Square Garden. We were up in a hotel there. So I come down, and I was in such a panic. I didn't know where to take him. I didn't want to call an ambulance. So we get into the cab, and I said, "What's the best Jewish hospital in New York?" And the cab driver said, "It's on the east side." So we drove all the way to the east side of New York, and Garrett, I forget the first hospital we went to. I'll remember it, but it was a Jewish hospital. So we go in. What?
Conover a Jew?
No, I wanted to make sure the doctors were Jewish.
Oh, okay.
No, I wanted to make sure that. So that's what I did. To be honest, I don't know that I want a Presbyterian operating on me. To be honest, I'm sure there's
doctors.
No, that's the best doctors in the world are Jewish doctors.
Oh, hey, one more thing before I let you go, Jay.
Well, you didn't know that? You mean in your culture they don't say make sure your doctor is a Jew? You've never heard that?
I'm a black guy. We go where we can afford that, Jay.
Right. What sort of doctors are in it? You have a lot of Indian doctors are usually waiting for you in those places.
Well,
is your doctor's name Singh by any chance?
No, it's Navarro. He's a Mexican guy.
It's a Mexican. My wife had a Mexican OB-GYN, Kristina, and for both kids, she was called away from a barbecue. I swear to God. And in the first kid, she was wearing a gold lame outfit with high heels. And in the second one, it was a theme barbecue. She came to the hospital dressed as like a mariachi dancer girl, okay? To deliver, I swear, yeah, it was funny. Yeah, both times. Well, Ken, I'm glad you listen. Yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you this, Jay. I'm going to let you go after this. I'm a dog lover like you're a cat lover, and I seen something on TV this morning, and I don't know what it made me feel like, but have you seen that fallen seal, the seal that got killed, and they got the dog laying at his casket?
Terrible. I mean, sad. I saw that picture. The guy's casket is up a little bit, and it's not an open casket, and they brought his dog, and his dog has a name. I forget the dog's name, but anyway, It was this guy. What is it? Hawkeye. It's in Iowa. So he brings the dog, Kristina. They bring the dog to the funeral, and the guy's in the casket, and they just walk the. Okay, see you later. They just walk the dog by the casket, right? So they try and walk away, and the dog pulls back to the casket, and then the dog gets next to the casket and stays there for the entire showing at the church.
That made me cry.
Oh, it's the saddest story.
If I go before Lola, she better do that shit too. She better crawl.
You know what? They won't. I want to tell you, and this is not an army dog. This was his dog from home, right? And he was on, deployed and everything else. It really is the absolute, saddest picture you'll ever see. It's a black lab laying there by the. That's what he's talking about. Man, oh man, I don't know. And I'll tell you that Pat Tillman thing I saw the other night. He was not some right wing, war nut. In fact, just the opposite. Like beyond libertarian or liberal. He just the opposite. He was, he just, wanted. And then when he got in. He gets in and they're shooting, Iraq and all, Garrett, and he says to this guy, Jesus, this war is illegal. God. Yeah, he was like really upset and disappointed, but because he'd given a commitment, he stayed in. I mean, it's really pretty bad, and it's weird why he was shot. Not that I think they did, like it was a conspiracy, but it is pretty weird. I mean, when you see, and the documentary, they just show you everybody that was involved. They talk to all the soldiers, and then they show the congressional hearings and the Democrats that are asking the generals questions. They look scared. I swear to God, this little bald-headed guy with glasses, I don't know who he was, he looks scared to death that he's asking these generals questions about Pat Tillman. I swear to God. Really weird. Strange shit. And Rumsfeld once said, when they talked about casualties, which is the way look, it's a war, people are going to die. And so when you try and zero in on one dead guy, that's not his deal.
Yeah, but the whole lie.
I know, but that's not his deal. His deal is you go to war, shit happens, and we're doing what we can do, and that's it.
But that's not his deal. If he makes up this whole lie about it, that means he doesn't think this shit just happens. He thinks it's a whole media
yes.
kind of viewpoint.
They found a memo that goes as high as the president that says in the memo that Pat Tillman was killed with friendly fire and we can't talk about it. The mother found it. The mother actually just used the Freedom of Information Act and found it. Oh, and in the beginning, they, accepted that their son was killed and it was terrible. And then the Army started doing all of this PR about their son. And then ASU did all this PR, and they said, we don't want to do this. So they brought a thing, and they said, your son said he wanted to be buried at Arlington National Cemetery. He had sent a paper to his wife, a copy, and he said, look, I secretly send this to you because if I'm ever killed, they're going to try and make a PR thing out of me. I don't want to be buried at Arlington. And she showed it. And that's when the mother said, boy, if they're lying about that, who knows what else they're lying about? Right. I know. It was really weird. And they were laughing at everything at the congressional hearing, and the family sitting right there. It was terrible. Awful. And I don't know what Barack Obama's doing. That's the thing that pisses me off. Get the fuck out of there. You know what? The reality is this. The people in Tunisia rose up, and now the people in Egypt and in Syria. We did the same thing. The French did. It's up to those people to figure. I'm sorry we attacked them and fucked their country up and all that, but now it's going to be up to them to fight a civil war. That's just it. Like when they have refugees, men, at the border. And they always show thousands and thousands of, men, women, and children, but they show guys at these borders, right? Sorry, if you're a male and you can carry a gun, you got to pick a side and go back and fight. That's what NATO ought to say. Pick a side, be it a bad side or a good side. Pick a side. You know what I love? It's been the feast, the Ramadan or whatever, and they stopped shooting, I guess, for the feast. That's when I would kill all the bastards. I mean, so you've noticed there's nobody dead in the last 3 days, right? It's Ramadan, So they don't shoot and they don't eat or whatever the fuck it is. Are you kidding? If I had a Chinook helicopter, okay, it would be a Ramadan they'd never fucking forget. I can tell you that. Yeah, that's what we did in the Revolutionary War. The generals went home for the cold winter months, the English generals. George Washington attacked Trenton, New Jersey. The general sent him a note, how ungentlemanly of you. That's what they did. They got mad. And their vacation was ruined. Yeah. So, Garrett, do we have the dad who warned his kid and then, lived up to the warning?
Well, a father is facing child endangerment charges after police say that he hit his young son and then threw him overboard.
It happened while they were aboard a tour boat in Newport Harbor. That's where Chip Yost is live with more on how the boy was rescued. Chip.
Leila and Glenn, luckily for that boy, the harbor here was very busy when this happened, and some boaters actually came to his rescue. But as you'll hear in a moment, one deputy tells us that boy is also lucky that those same boaters that saved him didn't run him over. This is the tour boat it happened on. It was Sunday afternoon, and the Pavilion Queen was packed when a father who had just gotten into a fight with his girlfriend shocked onlookers with what he did next.
Suspect walked toward the front of the boat to cool off. He was followed by his 7-year-old son. The 7-year-old boy was upset regarding the argument between his father and his father's girlfriend. The suspect struck his son several times and threatened his child that if he would not stop crying, he would throw him overboard. After a short period of time, the suspect picked up his 7-year-old son and threw him overboard.
This is the area of the harbor where the boy was thrown over. At the time, the deputy says the boy and his father were near the front of the boat. And not only was there a danger that he could have been run over by the boat he was on, but at that same time, there were a number of other boats also in the area.
Well, where it happened, that's probably one of the busiest sections of the harbor here with the most boating traffic. So one of our biggest concerns.
Thank God I wasn't boating that day, Garrett.
Sunday afternoon was maybe the kid getting struck by the boat.
I'm talking so much, I don't run over the kid.
Came to the boy's rescue. Deputies say the father, 35-year-old Sloan Briles, also jumped in after the boy. But by that time, the 7-year-old had already been pulled from the water.
Wow.
Sloan Briles was booked on 2 felony counts, one of child endangerment and one of resisting arrest. Reporting live in Newport Harbor, I'm Chip Yost. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you. There you go. Now, he threw him in, then he jumped right. Now, they don't say whether the kid had a life preserver on or not, but I'm thinking, by law, even on a tour boat, right, they probably had a life preserver on the kid.
Yeah, probably.
Terrible story. And the hitting, remember yesterday the cop that told us that he spanked his kids, right? When you see somebody getting spanked in the 21st century, it becomes child abuse. It looks horrible. It's not a part of our lives as we know them today. And so when they say he hit the kid, he spanked him, and that's child abuse. Then he threw him overboard. So now let's look at, first of all, I guarantee you that from now on, that kid will believe if his dad says something to him. He'll never forget this. Yeah. If he says, Kristina, I'm going to pull this car over, make you walk home, I bet you it gets really quiet in the van after that. Very quiet. Now, here's the other thing. The father has a fight with the girlfriend. The 2 children are his. They're 6 and 7. They belong to another woman that he, foolishly impregnated and then got divorced from, right? And has 2 right away, right? I love when people hate each other and they keep having kids. My favorite. Not only is it makeup sex, it makes sure you squeeze some sperm really deep in there to make another miserable fucking zygote to run our lives, okay? Yeah. So now he tries to have a girlfriend. He's 35 years old, and he thinks he deserves some sort of social life, right? And so he probably doesn't have full custody of the kids. It's the weekend, and he gets in a fight with her. The kids don't have any interest in her. She has no interest in the kids. Among animals, when in these like lions or tigers or certain prides of animals or birds or whatever, when they take over for another dominant male, they usually kill the offspring. Did you know that, Garrett?
Yeah,
kill them
all the time.
Yeah. And in medieval times and in times of tribes and all that, the guy would kill the king. He would take the king's wife, and he would kill the king's children because they would be, vow to, kill you, revenge.
Yeah.
Right? Honor, what is it called? What? Honor killing? Honor killing, like no matter, even if the guy raises you well, you got to kill him for killing your dad, right? So that's basically the same way we are now, except that we are supposedly civilized, but it's still in there, still deep. You do not like the children of the person that your husband or wife used to be with. You can say you do, or it's okay, or whatever, and all that. And so here's what you ought to do. You're young, right? You have 2 little kids. You don't need to introduce them to the girlfriend. They don't even ever have to know that you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. If you've got, they don't need to know it. And if the girlfriend or the boyfriend can't take it for those, I don't know, weekends or every now and again when you don't see them, then get rid of them. Who gives a shit? Who cares? And if they want to introduce you to the kids, there's only one thing the step boyfriend or girlfriend can. You have to just shower the children with gifts, and you have to be the nicest person in the world so that the children love you for the shit that you give them. Now, I've been a step dad or a step boyfriend a couple of times, right? I was interested in one thing: banging their mommy. Okay? So to finish this thought, you must shower these children, because you're not going to kill them. Shower these children with gifts and kindness and everything else so that they're mad for you. That's the only thing you can do. But this guy has a fight with the girlfriend. He's a young guy, and he's mad at the girlfriend, and she was probably bitching because the kids were ruining her good time on the boat, right? And, you know, what does she want with somebody else's offspring? She doesn't, you know. I don't know why people make themselves miserable, you know. If someone acts like they don't like your kids, there are nearly 7 billion people on the face of the earth. Trust me, there's another identical piece of ass waiting for you around the corner. Okay? I mean, every time I was crying and screaming and weeping, and my girlfriend or my wife or whatever, why is it 6 fucking weeks later we're all better? Why is that? So that's what you have to think about. You're all better all the time. You know, look at Hollywood. They go through fucking people like, you know, krill through a, you know, baleen. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to them. Nothing. Zero. And so you see, Kristina, you still are hung on to the thing that there's somebody special out there. I'm saying there are billions that are special. Billions. And when a person disappoints you, they are the most dispensable piece of flotsam and jetsam, you know, in our environment. They're like a piece of wood floating down the Mississippi River.
You don't
after
believe
a
in
flood.
Second chances or anything?
Yeah,
like
15th chances. Absolutely.
Okay.
But what I believe in is getting rid of someone who breaks one rule one time.
Oh.
One rule,
but wait,
one
what's
time.
a rule? Give me an example of a rule.
Like if they act weird to your kids and you're dating them, you got to get rid of them. They're not, it's not going to work.
But one of the rules isn't if they're fucking somebody else.
You know, you've got so much.
I just want to know. I just want to know where you stand on this.
If you get caught, if you get caught, right?
Oh,
period.
My goodness.
If you get caught fucking someone else, that's the only time it's bad.
You're horrible,
Garrett.
Yeah, go ahead, Garrett.
Garrett, you get caught fucking someone else.
That's bad.
That's bad.
But fucking someone else.
Who knows? Not bad.
Oh, you're such a liar. The only reason why you're talking like this is because you know your girlfriend's not listening.
No, look. No, listen, my wife could be listening too. It has nothing to do with whether you're doing it or not. It has to do with what is the reality of it. If I met you and I was of your age or whatever, and I was married and had 3 kids, and as long as I could compartmentalize it and have you as my girlfriend and take really good care of my wife and my kids, what is the problem?
The problem is that you're a selfish son of a bitch.
Why? If you're having a good time,
why should you have everything and eat it too? You should be a family man. If you
then
have
you know
a family,
what?
you
Guess
have
what?
a family. If you're committed
you
to your wife,
something?
you're committed to your wife.
You
Don't
would say
waste
that
other people's time.
You would say that.
What?
You would say that one time, and I would never call you again because you don't
walk out the door. I won't take this no more.
You don't fit in with the group I'm looking for. That's all.
What if people told you could only go to Five Guys for a burger? You can never go to another burger place.
Then I would be content
ever.
for the rest of my life.
Really?
That is so.
And just imagine there were Shake Shacks on the street all day.
Kristina,
in the summer.
Fine, I'll just think of the caramelized
Kristina,
onions.
take your index finger and take on your right hand and take your forearm of your left arm. Put it up with the mic. Ready? and hit your finger on your forearm. Go ahead, just do it. Do it. Do it. No, not on the mic, on your forearm. Your finger on your forearm.
She's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what sex is. That's it.
You're horrible.
You just had
no,
sex
I'm not
with
horrible. No, but that's all it is. It's like a hard thing hitting against.
No, there's more to that.
Meat.
That's what it is to you because you are
a
terrible human being.
Why? Because you refer to a vagina as some meat?
For what it is, roast beef.
Look, when a vagina can join the army, then we'll say, well, you know.
What do you mean?
It can't. When a penis can, like, lift a board or when a penis can, like, run for president. But it can't. It's just a piece of meat. It's like your finger. I'm going to take 2 fingers and slap it into my elbow. Ready? Look.
Ooh, yeah, you do that. Yeah.
Oh, you're bad, girl. You're bad, girl. Garrett, we can turn each other on by hitting our fingers into our fucking elbow.
Weird. You have
know
issues
what?
far beyond what we're talking about.
I gotta clean my pants out. I'll be right back. Call us at 888-410-210. Our communications producer, Kristina, will be your direct line to me. Our operations director is Garrett Andritz, and he gets the noise to come out of the speaker equipment. Let's go to Deborah of California. Hi, Deborah. It's Jay Thomas. Hello.
Jay?
Yeah.
I was going to talk to you about a movie that came out, but first I have to say I agree with what you were just talking about. As someone who lives in the lifestyle, that's kind of what you were sounding like.
When you say you live in the lifestyle, what do you mean? You mean you're married, but you have a guy on the side, kind of thing?
Guy or girl.
You got a girl on the. You're married. She's married, or you're married?
I'm married. We've been married.
And you got a girl on the side.
Yes.
Does your husband know about it?
Yes, he does. He's usually with me.
So if you're all, and if you're all, in agreement, then that's fine.
That's what I said. He almost sounds like he's in the lifestyle. If only his wife would agree.
So you met the girl. And introduced her to your husband, or you guys needed something to spice up your marriage, so you came to this conclusion.
Well, I've always been bisexual, so he's kind of known I've always done it. So I just invited him in to partake.
That's
so
nice of
when
you.
you're you know what? I didn't do it for women on women, so I'll do it now. You have to use your entire hand, Garrett, and slap it on your wrist. There you go. That
sounds violent.
Woman on woman.
You should use your fist instead.
That's woman. That's woman on woman right there. Yes. What now? Is that why you called to shock us with your morals?
No, I'm not shocking. Come on, it's California.
We are shocked.
You are not.
Garrett and Kristina's mouths are open right now.
Well, they are, I'm sure.
Yeah,
not
they're
you.
shocked. All right, so go ahead. Now, how often do you do this? I mean, is it like that's the one thing. Is it a weekend thing, or is it a special night of the week, or once a month, or how do you plan it?
And we picked up a stripper at one of the clubs there, and she happened to be bisexual.
And you take her back to the hotel room? You don't worry about anything?
Yes, we did. Well, we bring condoms and whatever.
No, being killed.
Oh, killed? No. Not like what everybody thinks.
Does your husband get busy with the other girl?
He gets busy with her as well, yes.
And you're not jealous at all?
No.
Unbelievable.
It's like Jay said, it's only sex, and there's a big difference between our relationship and him just relieving himself.
So do they kiss?
Oh, yeah. They do everything.
Well, sometimes, when you're hooking, I don't know, the kissing is a more personal thing. I learned that from Pretty Woman.
Cool. Well, this has been enlightening and fantastic. All right, Garrett?
Yeah. Well, let me just mention the movie really quickly before I go.
What movie?
It's a movie kind of based on that soldier with the dog story, but it's a true story, and it's been remade. And there was a Japanese gentleman who owns a dog, and the movie's name is Hachi.
No, this just happened last week.
Right, no, I'm just saying there's a real-life movie based on this kind of a story, similar story.
when the dog or the animal is, knows that the owner is dead.
He died, right. He died, and the dog still, he used to meet him at a train station every day, and the dog went to the train station every day until the dog died. It was really a very emotional movie. And
so the dog, even though the guy was dead, the dog kept going to the train station. Now that to me seems like a very dumb dog.
Yeah, OCD or something.
Yeah, there's something wrong with that dog.
No, he's just
no, I think the dog was more attracted to the train than to the guy.
No,
you give it
Garrett
or something.
Yeah. That's what he was attracted to.
No, I don't think
no, if you're attracted to the guy, you'd stop going to the train station. Or you'd go a couple of times.
Go to the cemetery.
Yeah, exactly.
Shut up.
He used to meet him every single day.
He was attracted to the train whistle.
He was trained to go to the train station.
Whatever. The guy, the poor dead soldier, his dog loved him. He didn't know, he loved him, could smell that he was in the thing.
He ate out of his food bowl. The guy fed him in every day, too.
Not
at
anymore.
The train station, right?
Feed him.
The train station. That's right. Deborah, it's not the same thing at all, okay? You know what? I think you know what you've done? You've eaten some, I think, hallucinogenic pussy, and you're like, out of your mind. All right, we'll be right back. Do I have time to read some emails, Garrett? How much time?
A minute and a half.
A minute and a half, we'll try one. Dear Jay, this comes from Vic. I love when you say things that are completely absurd in an authoritative voice, and they're totally wrong. When you claim the word foxy or foxy lady originates from black men who liked hairy women, good God, I'm still laughing over that. That is exactly where it came from. I wasn't making it up. Idiots. ABC has received numerous complaints about Chaz Bono. Did you know this? You know this, Garrett?
No.
But I mean like thousands of them, okay? Your choice to bring Chaz Bono into the mix and all this screen dialogue about sex changes and all of that. Guess what? We are not tolerant. The people that watch Dancing with the Stars. You just don't want to know. You're like Kristina. She looks at bloody meat. She thinks about the cow dying before she cooks it. What do you think those people are that are teaching them how to dance? Normal? Stop it. All those guys are holding their penises between their legs and want people to call them Shirley, for God's sakes. All right. Let's go to Shaky. Hello, Shaky. It's Jay Thomas.
Hey, Jay. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Do you have some sort of palsy or some sort of dystrophy that you are called Shaky?
I've got, here and there I have anxiety attacks. I've worked in radio too, but I had a question for you, dude.
Wait a minute. You went from anxiety attacks to radio. Your name is Shaky.
Well,
so does that mean you're a shaky personality that at any moment you could fall apart?
No, the morning show nicknamed me that.
Because you have a shake thing. What town were you in? Let's hear all about it. Don't be shy.
No, I live in Huntsville, Alabama now.
Oh, sure. I remember Huntsville. I started in Panama City, Pensacola. I was in those areas.
Florida.
Yeah, down there. Huntsville was a big town to me back then. Of course, getting stuck there after 20 years is the wrong way to go. But
no, I haven't been stuck here. I was born in New York and lived in Florida and Savannah. I've kind of moved around.
Were you the funny guy on the show? What was your job?
I started as an intern, and now I'm like a associate producer. It's been a couple of years, so I've kind of worked
on a top 40 show.
No, it's a comedy morning show that's syndicated.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey,
I have a question for you.
You want to hear something? This guy makes more than you do right now.
I doubt it.
He does.
He makes more than I do, certainly.
Of course he does. And the two idiots that he works for, they probably double my salary, the syndicated idiots. The thing I could never get.
Let's go to Alabama.
Yeah, right. That'd be the last day we were syndicated. Yeah, you can't do all. And I never got in trouble, but there are a lot of people that think that now I have been tainted by Sirius XM.
No, I didn't ever.
I disagree also. Of course I haven't. Of course not. course I have. And they go, well, could you still be a right wing? Yes, I could be right wing in a minute. I'd fucking make so much fun of Barack Obama, his family, the vacation, the giving the money away. Yeah, it's all, yeah, are you kidding? Like that, I could be back.
Well, we're not actually with like one of the big corporate, like, that runs 50 stations. They've got, like, I think 10 or 12 that are in Florida and whatnot. So they've got a little leeway there.
Now, do you guys, when you get off, you listen to a show like this and wish you could talk like this? I go to work at 3 in the morning. I get off and I try to listen to Rich Convino when Howard's off. I can't do it. And then I just wait for you to come on. And then, of course, when Howard's back on, I listen to that and you. And that's what I do. When I go to radio, then I come out and I listen to radio. I'm pretty lame. You know, it is weird. Something with a knob. They don't allow people to say certain things. I would, if you were forced to listen, like, you know, if it was like a Clockwork Orange and they tied you down and they put a thing on your ears instead of your eyes. See, Garrett, they'd put it on your ears.
So you couldn't close your ears?
Yeah, they put a speculum on your ears. We learned that yesterday. And then you couldn't close your ears. That's right. You couldn't even think to close your ears, right? And it would be attached to your eardrum. All right? So what did you call about, Shaky?
Well, Jay, okay. In all the years of broadcasting, you know, you were talking about earlier about wives, husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends cheating. Have you ever had, like, a caller call into you that has said that either, like, say your girlfriend, or I don't know, I think you've been married a couple times or something like that, but has said, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I've hooked up with X, whatever your girlfriend is.
My girlfriend?
Or not your girlfriend now. I'm saying in the past. Have you ever had anybody call in to your show?
No, they haven't ever called in the show. It's been said to my face.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you right now that, I had a wife, and a buddy of mine and I went to visit his uncle somewhere in Vegas or whatever, and his uncle was telling me what a great woman my ex-wife was and what a great piece of ass she was too. Oh yeah. I've heard that about girlfriends. I've heard that about, and I always wonder why these guys say this shit to me, because, you know, they don't know what my reaction's going to be. And what's weird is they're not trying to fight or anything, because they're not tough guys. No, they're not tough guys. They literally they're just saying it. And I just, you know, nod or whatever and just, you know, mark it down.
You is what it is.
No, they're not. They probably did do it. That's the other thing. I don't disbelieve them. Yeah, but I don't disbelieve. I mean, listen, how many really incredible guys have women I've known, and they sleep with scumbags, but they have an incredible boyfriend or husband, and they sleep with scumbags. That's what scumbags are for, you know. Right. And how many, you know, great guys, old ladies are fucking around, you know. I mean, you know, you gotta have those scumbags out there. So that's how that works.
Yeah, but wouldn't it piss you off even like now, currently? I mean,
no, I'm the scumbag. I'm the scumbag. No, I'm not the good guy. No, whatever anybody has ever done, sexually or whatever, I'm sure that I figure this way: everybody should take the best care of themselves they can. If it embarrasses your family, or if it causes your marriage or whatever to tear apart or whatever, and you don't want it to happen, then you shouldn't do it. But
Carla, you know, never bitched about you, Jay.
Who didn't?
Carla.
Sure she did. That's why I got fucking fired. Yeah, that's the truth. People always go, "Why'd you get fired?" She could not stand my ass. Hated me.
Oh well.
Couldn't stand it. All right. Well, look, I can't wait to turn into this show if you're the producer guys. You ever steal shit from us and put it on there the next day?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
You actually I friended you, but Kristina and I chit-chat about her taking Vicodin for her teeth. She's on drugs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what, Kristina? This is exactly you should not be saying anything. Can you tell how fucking weird this guy is? This guy is one step away.
To me compared to people like you.
This guy is one step away from meeting women in a Huntsville, Alabama Motel 6 and killing them.
Hoppers you're talking about?
I don't know. You're an odd one, though. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Right, creepy. No, creepy. Very creepy. I'm not joking, Kristina. Creepy.
You think so?
These guys on the fringe of entertainment, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Creepy. The producer at a radio show in Huntsville, Alabama. I mean, if it was between that and joining the Army, I would go Army and have them ship me over immediately.
You keep telling me that's what I have to do. And now you're saying
he's telling you to move to Alabama?
He's been there 20 years, Garrett. I didn't tell you to do
take
that.
the next step?
He's not. This guy will never take the next step. Off a cliff. That's it for him. You can just tell. I can hear loser in my headphones.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's as if a Cepulum has opened my eardrums up.
No.
You know, really? Don't friend people. Don't friend people and all that. Don't do all that.
I'm not going to stay a shut-in like you.
I'm not a shut-in. You know what kind of friends I have?
You have 3 of them.
Hold it.
You have 3 friends.
Hey, would some of my flesh and blood friends come in, please? Thank you. Yeah, I have flesh and fucking blood friends. I have people that you sit down across from and you go, well, blah, 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 and they go, blah, 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 and they have a body, and then we speak to each other, and there's a cocktail or whatever the fuck it is you got, and there's a dinner. I don't have friends that I type little things to and send pictures of my fucking cat to. God.
You wish you did, though.
I don't. Look, I have tried my best.
Sorry for you.
You shouldn't. I've tried my best. It's just weird to me that who gives a fuck about 90% of the shit. I have friends of mine that send me announcements about their kids. I've never even met their kids.
But they're your friends. You should be happy.
I don't
for the
give
sake of being for somebody.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Their kid is going to college, and it's the Facebook. There's a picture of me and Robbie out in front of the University of Georgia. You and Robbie in front of the University of fucking Georgia. Look, I have a very close friend who is a federal attorney, and I don't know, he's the kind of guy. No, he's the kind of guy who will sue for millions of people the United States government. Like he said the other day, he was offered a lawsuit. Listen to this one. It's going to be millions and millions of people against the inventor of the cell phone. And it's because they've now proven, and they have incredible research over the last decade or longer, that cell phones cause jaw cancer. And that the jokes that I've told about, you know, the original guy getting a tumor and dying is not a joke anymore, right? And the way they're going to win the lawsuit is these companies have done the research themselves, and they already have alternative signals that will cut down on the radiation or whatever it is that causes it. And the most radiation comes from the screen on the phone. So they're now asking kids, if this lawsuit goes through, kids to pull the thing back, or they're going to start sending a different signal. So he's never mentioned to me, Garrett, one of his court cases, or he's got a son that's a doctor, I think, and a daughter that's an attorney, and we've never even discussed it. And I've known him.
And you're not friends.
No, from high school. I consider him one of my closest friends. We played golf all day Saturday. I didn't hear one fucking thing. I don't give a...
you.
No. He had to fly off to see... He said, I'm going tomorrow to see my daughter. I go, where's she live? She lives in Greenwich Village. What does she do? She's a doctor. Okay, cool. Have a good time. Well, that's it. That's all you need. That's it. I didn't go, oh, my goodness. Well, what sort of a doctor? Who gives a shit? I don't care. We had a great time playing golf. You think he's saying to me, oh, hey, what's your wife up to? Who cares? His wife and my wife are never going to meet. You know, I've known his wife since high school, Garrett. She's hated me since high school and hates me now.
I wonder
hates
why.
me now. Hates me now. To this day, can't stand me. Saw me at a reunion. I said something I thought was normal, and she, told me it hadn't changed. It was about JT, my illegitimate son. She said, I saw you on Dr. Phil with this son of yours. What do you think of that? I said, you know what? The worst part of that is, when you give something away to the Salvation Army, you don't want them to bring it back to your house. I thought that was funny. Oh, it upset that she did not like. And he says to me, "Well, guess what? That didn't help you any." And he said it in front of another classmate's wife. And I guess when I walked away, it was like that, you know. But you know what? On some level, I think my friends are glad that they don't have to share me with their families. You know, I have no interest in it. And being nice to the kids and all that. I went to a guy's house in Northern California, and we go into this guy's house, and we're going fishing, I think. And his kids come in, and he said, "Joe, this is, Jay." And the kid goes like this to me. So I said to the other guy, I said, "Did you see that?" The guy says, "Yeah, his fucking kids are horrible. Horrible kids." And so I didn't want to discuss that either, you know. Sometimes if my son had looked at a guest of mine in my house and gone, I haven't the faintest fucking idea, there'd have been teeth, hair, and eyeballs all over the fucking staircase. I'd have gone nuts. This guy just let it go. Then you have to get into a discussion about what fucking bums your children are and all that shit. Ugh. I have friends whose kids live on the street, you know, and they won't stop skateboarding or whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't want to hear it all. I don't want to hear it. What do you say to them? You know, and you go like, "Well, my kids don't." That's it. That's it. Just like that. They don't. I mean, and do I want to see a picture of the babies and all that? No. They all look alike. I'm going to just put a picture. Hey, Kristina, get a bunch of pictures and start putting them on my Facebook and send them to people and say, "This is my new granddaughter." Just start sending them to people.
Okay.
Like I have 80 of them. And send me pictures of your grandkids too. Send me pictures of your grandkids' poop. You know. Just to shit on them on Facebook. That's what it's there for. It's made for lonely losers to communicate with each other. It's not an age thing.
Yes, it is.
It is not.
Like
it is that
running your car down the street.
If you are a literate citizen of the United States, you don't need to speak to illiterates in shorthand, on the internet. That's all. I mean, if I type my agent,
such
"Hey,
an elitist.
Got a job for me?" I don't go, "Hey, we haven't talked to each other for a while. Why don't we get lunch?" Well, why say that when you go to lunch, you don't give 3 fucks about whether you don't care about going to lunch with somebody that gets you work. You go like this: "Get me a fucking job. I haven't heard from you in 6 weeks." That's the truth. My agent called me yesterday, told me, "Oh, I've had pneumonia." Dead silence from me. "Well, you better now?"
See, you should be a pleasure to work with. That's a shame.
Kristina.
What? A smile and a nice attitude goes a long way.
It's work. If we lived in the house together and we were roommates, I would have a different relationship with you. But at work, it's bring the shovel, stick it in the dirt, and put the goddamn...
People die from pneumonia.
Oh, he sounded bad.
You should have a little bit of compassion. See how you are with Ira? You should be that way
I will tell you. I'm not kidding you. There was an agent and a guy I knew, and he was always talking about his family and all his, and I didn't care about all that. I didn't want to hear about it. And trouble with this and trouble with that. And I'm sitting in the thing going, well, who gives a shit? Let's get on the phone.
And it's people like you that are going to live to be like 110. You're going to die peacefully in your sleep.
Not
no
people
karma
like
is going
me.
to kick you in the ass like it should.
There is no karma.
No, if you wait a minute. If we're having coffee away from work and you go, "I have a problem, may I discuss it with you?" Okay, fine. I would talk to you. But if
I know better than that.
But that's fine. That's fine. But if we're at work, or if your job is to do something, in the middle of that job, I don't want to hear any other bullshit but the gig. That's all. Are you kidding? I talk to people about stuff and call me on the phone. Don't Facebook it so that everybody knows about it. It's all.
I hate talking.
We have been going on Facebook to read about this woman that we know that became a lesbian and left her family that were friends of ours. And we go on Facebook, and that's all we do. She's announcing her girlfriend, and and it's like, are you kidding? What? Why?
The worst are new moms who, first of all, post pictures of everything, And then,
the insides of them, too.
Every night it's like, Joey can't go to sleep tonight. I hope I can get him up at blah, blah, blah. What can I do? Please help.
And there's so many of them because we're in that age, right, where all of our friends are I know.
You know what? That's that. You know what, Garrett? You got to start answering. That's what you do. You go. By the way,
I try to be a dick on Facebook, but
not a dick. No, you go like this. Joyce, I've been married for 14 years, and we have 3 kids. And my wife, it works like magic. Here it is. We worry about Johnny waking up because he has a heart monitor. And we keep the other monitor in our room. And like clockwork. By the way, read about this in Red Book. Give some magazine.
But the problem is, then that wife complains to her husband, which is your friend, that, this guy is using up my Facebook page and writing bad stuff.
Hey, watch this. Next friend. Just go to the next friend. That's all. Next. I'm not kidding you. You break 1 or 2 rules, and I've broken them with people, and they've stopped being my friend. You break 1 or 2 rules, and you just know. You know in 5 minutes on a first date, Kristina, whether you may stay with the guy 10 years, but you knew his problems within 10 minutes of the first date.
Yeah,
you knew he was selfish. You knew he had a fucked up family. You knew there was something weird about him. You knew when the check came, the way he dealt with the waitress. You know everything about the person.
Yeah, I know.
Right. You may stay with him forever. Or you may stay with him.
Why do we do that? That's so stupid.
Well, we all do it. It's, I'm not immune to that either. I had a girlfriend for 5 years in New York, and I knew the first date that she was nothing but fucking trouble. And it took me a long time and right when I got the guts to break up with her, we hadn't slept together yet, but I said, I've been, hanging around you for a couple of weeks and all that, and I just don't think, this is the right thing or whatever. Of course, she calls back, comes over, and we dated for 5 years, and I was exactly correct, Or sometimes you meet someone really nice, and you should be with them. But, I don't love them. They're a little boring. Guess what? That's who you got to be with. You got to be with that one. Get with somebody that appreciates, thinks you're great, instead of chasing some asshole that, plays hard to get.
I think I'm great.
You know what you ought to do to somebody that plays hard to get? Crossbow in the back. Okay? Gotcha. And then reel them in with one of those, the wire. No, well, when you go bow fishing, you have like a string because you don't want to lose your arrow, Let's go to Jim in Detroit. Hello, Jim. Did you sell a gun in Detroit? I saw that Wayne County was having their big gun buyback. Did you see that?
No, I didn't sell any guns.
Now, I don't know who sells their guns. I guess they're all broken. One guy tried to sell 2 hand grenades, and they had to blow them up behind the police department and said, we don't buy hand grenades. I know.
Yeah.
Well, and they look like old beat-up shotguns and shit. None of them look like any good guns, No good ones.
Yeah, they're all crappy guns.
Yeah, crappy. Go ahead, Jim.
Jerry Seinfeld broke up a marriage, and now Larry David's doing the same thing. Did you hear about that?
What? No, whose wife is Larry David fucking?
Is it like Paul Reiser's or someone?
No, come on.
Yeah, Garrett can Google it.
You know what's weird? Paul Reiser, who is really a great guy, has been singing with this English woman. And they had a song at Christmas time, and then recently they were in concert in California, and it's weird. He plays the piano, and this woman sings, and he is totally enamored with her. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe something's going on with him and this singer, because he's, spending all of it's his money, right? And they're not making any money. No one gives a shit. So Larry David, do you see that, Garrett? Larry David's doing something with Paul Reiser's wife?
I'm looking.
God, you think Larry David would have some, young intern or something,
Would you let him date your wife?
wouldn't let him date my wife. No, what a stupid question is that?
Well,
if he paid me, wait a minute. If he gave me $1 million, go ahead, have a nice time. I'd be, yeah, something like that. But no, you mean Paul Reiser said, "Here, Larry, take my wife"? What are you crazy? What is it? What does it say?
It says that Paul Reiser tried to steal Larry David's show, which was that failed 2-episode Paul Reiser show. So Larry responded by stealing his wife, Amy Landecker.
Amy Landecker. How long were were Reiser and Landecker married?
1 sec.
Because he's had big kids. Was it his original wife or a second wife? Oh, this is a good one, Jim. Thanks.
She was born in 1969.
Ooh. So, well, she's what, 42? 42. Must be a second wife. No? What's Paul? Paul's in his 50s, 52, 53, something like that?
I guess so.
Maybe it's the first wife. I don't know. And so is that who Larry David is with, or is that a rumor?
It says she was in an episode 2 weeks ago, and he's dating her now, a new relationship.
And she's still married?
She was reportedly still married when they started dating.
Oh, my. And I bet you $10 he's with this English singer woman.
And he's nasty.
But it's also really boring music, Find Paul Reiser and this woman, Paul is the nicest guy. Larry David is a nice guy. Now, Larry David's wife says in all kind of interviews that it's no fun living with him, and that he was George Costanza and all that. And she got like $300 or $400 million. I mean, an immense fucking amount of money. And she's the one with the Prius and all that shit. Is this Paul
she's
Reiser?
fucking Al Gore now.
Wow.
Yeah, this is Unsung Hero by Julia Fordham and Paul Reiser.
Pointing over to the sky.
Is this Paul or the woman singing? Who's this singing?
It's horrible.
My best intentions slip into dissension.
They wrote this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Kristina, do you think he's in love with her and he's promoting her career and all?
I don't know what this is.
Do you think Larry fucks her to this song?
You mean puts their own music on? You know what? I used to want to put Mork and Mindy on and have women go down on me. That was a favorite of mine also. So, all right, thank you, Jim of Detroit. We don't know if any of this is true, of course.
I want to kill myself.
Well, maybe that's what it. They talk about.
What if Larry and this lady adopt a Vietnamese girl, and then Larry could marry her?
No, that's Woody Allen. Woody Allen's already got that. You don't want to do that. All right, thank you very much, Jim. Yeah, turn this up. She's almost like those men who had their testicles cut off in medieval. In castrati. She's like a castrati like that. Yeah, my guess is this might be his girlfriend. Just a guess.
I mean, as the video's playing, it's just pictures of them. They're both sitting on the piano bench, and every picture, kind of like looking into each other's eyes. You're onto something.
Wow. Mm-hmm. They're up to something. All right, thank you.
This has a mean 5,068 views on YouTube.
Eric of Alberta, it's Jay Thomas. Yes, Eric.
Hey, so your friend with that lawsuit with the cell phone?
He didn't take it, but he said that they offered it to him, but he said the research is pretty unbelievable, and it's going to be a class action suit against the cell phone companies. But one of the big things is the cell phone companies know they're going to lose or have to pay. Now, not the ones, not every cell phone. They'll have to go back to the person that. You know, what they do is they do all sorts of research, and then they find shit. And then it can't be totally proven, but they put the thing out anyway, because they know even if they're sued and they pay $1 billion or $2 billion, they will have made hundreds of billions by then.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe, but that's the attitude. It's weird, though.
Like this FCC has like a breakdown of all the radiation, the acceptable levels and stuff for like the cell phones.
Right.
And there's a document that's like this particular phone only has safe radiation if it's held like 2 inches away from your head, which, nobody ever does. They have it pressed right up against their head, right?
Right.
So even the FCC agrees through these other documents, possibly, that these things are only safe if they're held at this distance. So that's kind of hilarious that they would get sued. I hope it goes
Well,
through.
I went, you know what, I used to tell that joke where the guy from, Motorola had a tumor that actually had an antenna on it, and so that was the original rumor that the guy that invented it, it's totally a rumor and who knows, died of brain cancer. The guy that I think Motorola was the biggest cell phone in the United States at one time. So that was the rumor. But what's really weird is that they already have the technology to stop the high incidence of radiation when and if they lose the lawsuit.
Right.
They've already got their end game plan. They just don't want to retool everything,
Yeah, well, why spend money if you can keep making as much money as you can with the technology that you're using, right?
Hard to believe. It's weird, but I don't know. Maybe I would do that too. I don't know. I have no idea. It's like Rumsfeld with the people that get killed. He goes, "It's a war." It happens. So that's the end of that.
Love you.
All right, thank you. Bye bye. Jeff of Pennsylvania. Hello, Jeff. It's Jay Thomas.
Hi, Jay. Just wanted to let you know that Bravo was going to go ahead with their latest edition of The Real Housewives.
With the dead guy. Yeah.
Right.
What did you think for 1 minute? Are you kidding? Did you think for 1 minute that they were not going to play the episode with the dead guy in it? It's what it is. It's reality TV. And so, maybe not in our life. I don't know. We'll see live executions. Our children will see live executions. I think there'll be, electric chair, people being put to death. You're going to see it all because that's what the public wants. Television and radio are a reflection of mores. We don't set them. It's like when they would say stuff about Howard. Then why were 25, 30 million people listening to Howard if he was a bad influence? He didn't cause it. You already have to have that. You can't force something that people don't want on them. And so, if you're allowed to say stuff or do stuff on TV, it's a reflection of what people want. And they want to see the guy that killed himself and the bitch that drove him to it. They want to see that. Don't you think, Kristina? They want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to see it.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah. Now, they wouldn't want to see Kim Kardashian having anal sex.
I would like to see that.
What? No, you think you would.
No, I really would.
You would like to see it.
Have you seen her ass? I've said before, I would like to live in it. That's an outstanding
You'd
ass.
like to see her naked ass.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe you're the same person that I work with.
What do you mean?
I know. Well,
there
my
certain
God.
Things I'm quirky. I have likes and dislikes.
No, but I said a few things today and you go, well, this is why you and I could never be really close friends.
Right.
You just said something so disgusting and so horrible.
What's disgusting about it? She made her career off of being a porn actress.
I would find it,
right?
And Garrett, please tell me if I'm wrong, offensive to have that on my television.
I agree.
Nope.
It would be awful. It wouldn't be interesting to see. It would be like, oh, God. And I would write a letter.
How it takes it.
Do you understand that you are horrible and then you say that other people are horrible? Oh, and listen to that laugh of yours because you mean it.
Jay, I got a follow-up for you.
What is it?
This Paul Reiser story?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody mentioned, but they weren't actually married. He's not married to Amy Landecker. She was his wife on a failed TV show.
Who does he have? Who does he have kids with? Is he divorced from the woman that he has kids with?
No, it says that Amy Landecker is an actress that played his wife Claire on the TV show.
Oh, Kristina. It's a TV wife, Garrett.
Oh.
So it's like a fake headline.
Yes.
He is married to Paula Revette.
Paula Revette. Wonder how Paula feels about this the sing lady, the songstress. I want to be want to be with you. I want to love you on the piano.
Yeah, he's right. Says she's
love you on the piano. Are you kidding? I mean, it was in between a man and a woman's voice. It was like something Chaz Bono made right before she had the addictomy, you know? All right. By the way, Garrett at one time had the same disease that our next guest has. Garrett.
Herpes?
No. Hit it. All right. I love this song.
Yeah, it's unplugged.
Oh, yeah. One night, we went to Dodger Stadium to see Clapton, and he was doing a tour with Elton John. And one night, Elton would open, and one night, Eric Clapton would open, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, we thought Elton John would be fine, but we wanted to see Clapton. So we go to Dodger Stadium. Fabulous seats. My buddy Frank got us great seats. We're all there. And, man, it was unbelievable, you know. And he, you know, sings everything. And screaming and yelling, you know, and the whole thing. And so then intermission comes, or whatever it is, and Elton John's going to come on and do the next hour and a half, right? So we settle back into our seats, and Elton John comes on, and I'm not joking. Some portion of the crowd left and was replaced by a crowd mostly made up of overweight, middle-aged women. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around going, no, this is like 15 years ago. I'm looking around going, boy, it's kind of weird. The crowd's changing, right? So Elton comes on, and when he starts singing all of his pablum bullshit, we listened for like 3 songs and we left. Next to Eric Clapton, it was like having like a Girl Scout come on and sing. You know, it was just, if we'd have seen him first, it would have been okay, right, I guess? Yeah. But Elton is like, you know, it's like a 12-year-old girl compared to friggin', you know, Eric fucking Clapton.
Yeah, I've heard he's dropped off in the recent years.
It's just, and he's like really fat. And I guess he has a kid now, and he's got this guy carrying a kid around. Oh, God. Don't, be gay, but don't push it in our faces.
He's still Elton John. You got to give him some slack.
Well, I guess. I don't go for all that, you know. I wouldn't want my kids to go, how come everybody has a mommy and a daddy, and we have Elton and Craig? You know what I'm saying? It's why do we... things shouldn't be different out in public. I mean, you can be total S&M in private. I don't care what you do. I mean, me personally, if I wanted a hot poker up my ass every Friday night at the dungeon, you know, have a dungeon somewhere. But the rest of the week, I wouldn't want anyone to know that.
You don't want to walk around with the hot poker in your ass.
No! And the tell-all books. I mean, even today, Oscar De La Hoya is now telling everyone he was drunk and all, and he never looked drunk, right?
Yeah, he did when he was wearing those fishnet stockings in the bra.
Well, that's true. That's true. He was a little loaded for that one, right? And then, who's the other boxer that comes on? Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
He's going to come on here again, and now he's got this thing where he was abused by somebody, but he wasn't. You know, he wasn't touched. It was the. I don't know what it was. It was like...
I forget.
The guy wanted to abuse him, but he never did. But he's written a book as if it affected him somehow. Weird. Don't write that shit. Don't write all that shit. Shit's happened to everybody. Thank you. Millions of people. I only used to fuck the live albums. Yeah. And try and be done right when the applause started. All right. I'm sorry. We have a guest waiting. Ryan Van Cleve, you must be wondering, what radio show have I been booked on?
I was wondering what kind of segue you had, but it worked, man.
You got it. Ryan, welcome to the show. Unplugged, you have written about your game addiction. By the way, even though I don't like to hear about other people's stuff, game addiction, this doesn't bother me, because I know a number of guys whose wives have left him. I know wives that say stuff like, he doesn't work anymore. And Garrett Andritz, who produces the show, was addicted. What were you addicted to, or are you still addicted?
Me?
No, the guest, Ryan.
Well, I was addicted to World of Warcraft, but a lot of other video games too. But that was the big one for me, World of Warcraft.
That's Garrett. Now, what was your name on it? Maybe Garrett played you at one time. What was your name?
Well, I had about 60 different characters that I played, so it's possible. There's about 12 million people playing that game, so the odds of us bumping into each other virtually were pretty poor, I would guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the game where the little boy shoves the remote control up of his ass because his parents took it away from him?
Yes.
That is addicting, I guess.
Now, Ryan, what I don't get is you're addicted to a game that when you win, you don't win a cash prize. You don't even get a new machine. To me, winning, I would be addicted to gambling. At least maybe some money could come by. But what's that? When you won the game, how long was the euphoria?
Well, that's the thing about sort of any kind of addiction. The first one is always the best, and everyone after that tries to chase that first high that you felt, and it's never as good, but you keep thinking the next one will be, and it never is.
Now, did you sit there doing speed or blow while you were playing?
No, though there's certainly a lot of people who have that addiction as well as video game addiction because they want to go on these benders and play for 20 or 30, 40 hours straight, and then those things like, sleep get in the way, so they get into other sorts of things. I never got to that point. I was able to just kind of do it on my own, and I had the type of schedule that, or at least I created the type of schedule for my life and work where I was able to put in the hours I wanted to, which got to be at one point 50, 60 hours a week.
Garrett, how many hours a week would you play?
I would say similar. You get
50, 60 hours a week.
You get home from work at that time I was getting home from work at 3:30, and you play to 2 in the morning. Wow. And then on the weekends you just play all day because you have nothing else to do.
Now, Garrett is a complete idiot. You have a Ph.D. from Florida State. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And you're a poetry fellow at the University of Wisconsin in Madison, which is a big... you've got some big... And you're a professor and the whole thing. It's unbelievable. Did you lose a job over your addiction, or it's because you were a teacher that you could do this 50, 60 hours?
Well, it was because I was a college professor that I had so much free time, but I pushed it too far and ended up losing a tenure-track job at one point. Ended up being out of work for about 3 years as a result of that. That's all turned around today because I haven't been gaming in 3 or 4 years, and I have my priorities back in order. But, for a while there, I had everything all backwards, and partially how I found so much time to game was that I cut it from everything else, like my health, from my family, and from my work. And eventually that comes back to bite you in the ass, which it did for me.
Now, a lot of people are addicted to gaming, and they consider suicide because they say it's one of the toughest addictions to fight. Did you contemplate taking your own life?
Well, that's how my book starts. My book Unplugged. It's a memoir of my story, and it starts with me on New Year's Eve of 2007 in an ice storm out in Washington, D.C., where I was living at the time, standing on the Washington Memorial Bridge there looking into the Potomac and thinking my life is just such a big stinking pile of crap, and I just don't see any way out. What do I even have to do at this point? Because I don't want that life anymore. And
wait a minute, that's like the Jimmy Stewart. That's the Jimmy Stewart movie.
I know, and I wrote about that too, and I said the difference was I don't have some, guardian angel on my shoulder there. If I jumped in, I was, cold shock and drowning. That's what I had.
That's my favorite movie of Christmas. That and Santa Claus 2 and 3. That's my favorite movie, the Jimmy Stewart movie. Not somebody up there likes me. It's a
Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life. I love that movie. And so no one's now when you go to some addiction, where do you go? You go with the 12-step program with what? The Mario Brothers? What do you, Super Mario Brothers run it? I don't know.
well, you're asking the right question here, and no one has the answer. That's.
Oh, there's no place to go.
Well, there is, but most people just don't know about that. We've got a clinic called the Restart that started about 2 years ago, and it's a residential treatment center up near Seattle, and we have a couple more here in the States. But I'll tell you, the rest of the world is totally on board with understanding that this is a real thing and that they need to do something about it. I mean, China alone has over 200 digital detox camps. You know, basically they're wilderness outdoor camps where people throw away all their electronics, go out there, and stay there until they figured out how to kind of renegotiate a proper life, and then they come home.
Did anybody ever get hooked 30 years ago on Pong?
Probably not. Pong was pretty crappy.
No, but there are people that are addicted to, like, Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. You know, that Billy Mitchell guy that did a perfect Pac-Man run? He spent his whole life, you know, learning the patterns and everything. They were addicted back then, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what about your kids? How old are they? How old are your children?
The kids are 7 and 4 now.
And so, were they old enough to know what Daddy was up to?
Well, I would have thought not, but part of I think the train that got me to the point where I realized I was having some problems was that my daughter would draw a lot, and she drew pictures of me, and in every picture I was at a computer, you know, playing games. In every picture she drew of me.
Well, that's the reality, though. I mean, that's how she saw you.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all she knew of me. She knew me in no other capacity. So she would draw Mom, you know, driving or jumping around or doing all sorts of things, but every picture of mine was consistently that picture. I've even got a copy of one of them inside my book there because it was a powerful motivator for me to kind of, I guess, got me into someone else's perspective of what it looked like to be around somebody who is spending all their time staring at a computer screen.
We have a lot of truckers that listen to us, people that travel. They must get off the road, get something to eat, and then go play video games until it's time to drive again. I bet you, Garrett.
Why not? You're in your truck by yourself.
Right.
It's a good form of communications with people.
Unplugthebook.com. Now, you know, the other one thing is that people who are addicted to video games, many times they are collectors or they are hoarders. They're not so much drug addicts. What do you have some collection thing you do? Do you have a hoarding thing?
I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder or anything, but I mean, I've certainly, you know, enjoyed collections over the years, sports cards and, you know, junk like that. So,
what about a weird?
I've got boxes or something I'm walking through.
How about a weird collection that when you say you have it, people go, "Ooh, something weird."
A weird collection. Well, I collected Smurfs when I was a kid. You know, and of course now McDonald's had Smurf toys for the movie that came out, so my kids and my wife got me most of those, so I added those to the collection. So I guess that.
You mean you have the tote bag and the blue plastic lunch pail? You have those?
You know, I don't think I had the lunch pail, but I got a lot of the figures, you know, from like the 60s.
Oh, really?
The weird little ones. They're probably worth something now, I imagine.
Yeah, they are. All right. Well, look, stay where you are. We have some addicts that are calling, and we'll keep talking to you. Unplugthebook.com. Ryan Van Cleve has written the book, His Journey into the Dark World of Video Game Addiction. Ryan Van Cleve, Ph.D., professor. Life was almost ruined by video game addiction. And do you play any video games now, Ryan? Anything?
No, not really. With any addiction, you know, one of the things that's connected to that is this idea that your next hit or your next drink or your next game can put you in as deep as ever before, and that's just something I don't feel like testing.
Wow.
You should get the new Madden. It was out yesterday. It's awesome. Updated the franchise mode. You start off with a bigger roster and you have to cut people every week of the preseason. Build your team. Dynamic player profiles. Oh, it's great. No itch.
Ryan, when that happens...
Did you get it at midnight, you weirdo?
No.
Oh.
Ryan, when that happens, when someone like Garrett, who's very sick, when he says stuff like that, does something happen to you inside?
Not so much. If they talk about World of Warcraft, because that was the game that had me the most, it pushed most of my buttons. It's a little bit trickier, but I'm getting a lot better about it these days. You know, I've got some perspective that helps me keep my head on straight.
You didn't find it was easy, like, after 2 days were you kind of like, oh yeah, I don't really need to sign on anymore? Because that's how I went. I just stopped one day out of nowhere. And then after a few days, you're like, oh, I don't want to sign back on because people are going to wonder where I am and I miss this and this. And you kind of just move on. It wasn't that easy?
Yeah, it wasn't that easy for me. There's a lot of people who just abuse or overuse video games. And sometimes they can get to that point where, for one reason or another, they stop playing and they just don't go back. And that's fine. But for someone like myself who is really pretty fully and completely hooked on it, you have the same kind of stages of withdrawal that you would with anything else. You know, your brain is used to. I couldn't sleep for days because my brain was still playing the games. My fingers. I was like a 3-pack-a-day smoker who would stop smoking and you don't know what to do with your hands anymore. You know, that kind of thing. So I had.
You know what?
Quite a
you
while.
got to be like me. I'm hooked in myself. You know. Unplug the book. Thank you so much, Ryan Van Cleve. So if you want to cast somebody in a television show or a movie or something, you want to find out about them, you go to IMDB and you find out about them. And so I guess normal folks do that to find stuff. And then, of course, the industry does it. And then now, of course, they're now talking about the fall TV lineup. So Melanie McFarland, I think you've been on this show before, haven't you? The Jay Thomas Show?
Possibly quite a while ago, but
yeah. From IMDb, I don't remember either, so don't feel badly. But we did have somebody on from IMDb. Who else would we have had on if it wasn't you?
Many people here have commented. You probably may have spoken to our founder, Carl, who knows everything about movies. So if you're ever talking about movies, then you probably spoke with him.
I don't know. Who did we have on, Garrett? Do you know who we had on?
No, I only remember Matt Atchity, and he's not from their site.
He's not from there. Anyway, you are the TV editor, and you're going to talk about the new fall television line. And Garrett, I've done quite a bit of sitcoms myself, and what's weird is the people that are choosing the sitcoms, and I don't know how you feel about them, they are not people that have ever written anything, have ever directed anything. Maybe they produce something or other, but I mean the real people that make the final choice at the networks are the in my estimation are the least likely people that should be picking a television shows. They watch TV as a kid, and so the shows we make fun of. That's why TV sitcoms, except for a few, what is it? What's your favorite there, Kristina?
Modern Family.
Modern Family,
Mm-hmm.
Except for a few like that. Most TV shows look like the sitcoms that we made fun of that people between, 30 and 40 watched. Does that make sense? They're the executives now. They're the executives, They're picking them.
Yeah. I mean, it's a business where when you have television executives, the reason they get their jobs is because the assumption is that they will know what the largest segment of the audience will want. So that's why you'll see a lot of the most adventurous sitcoms, There used to be a great series called Brilliant But Canceled that was on a cable network that unfortunately was also canceled as a whole. But, you would see these great pilots that had this tremendous potential, these sitcoms. But the idea was that the pilots were so narrowcast that they would have never made it on television, the regular broadcast television, that is. So,
out of
Modern
all...
Family.
Yeah, Modern Family made it.
Yeah.
Ed O'Neill is such a big TV star that when he signed on to do it, like Tim Allen's doing a show now, and of course everybody's laughing at it, and it's the same, laughing at it, not with it. It's really a rehash and all that. But when Ed O'Neill decided to go back to TV, that's the kind of power they have. He happened to be hooked up with a great show where he's really not the main number one star. He's a part of an ensemble, right? Tim Allen goes back, Last Man Standing, and isn't it just an older guy version of Home Improvement?
Home Improvement? Well, yeah. I mean, it certainly seems to be.
How old's the wife? How old's the wife?
Well, the wife is Nancy Travis. So
who's everybody's wife? Is everybody's wife? Who was her husband in the last sitcom? Was it Jim Belushi?
Oh, Nancy Travis's husband in the last sitcom?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I'm not sure. I can't.
Jim Belushi's ex-TV wife is somebody's wife on a TV. I mean, it's really it's really weird. It's like they'll get somebody else's wife and put them in a sitcom,
Yeah. Well, she was on Bill Engvall for quite some time.
The wife?
A recurring role.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
Nancy Travis was.
So anyway, he's in a world now dominated by his wife and his daughters. Is that any good?
And the thing is, right now on ABC, they're kind of doing this. It's very interesting because ABC has historically been a female skewing network. Witness the fact that Desperate Housewives was a top-rated show for such a long time. And I think this season, they're trying to do this interesting kind of manufactured gender war, and they're showing that actually in the very hour that Last Man Standing is scheduled, because it's paired with Man Up, and both of those are shows about men who can't quite figure out how to be men in a modern world. I think that the difference is that with Last Man Standing, you do have Tim Allen, as that central attractor, and I think that's actually going to be something that's going to draw a lot of people. And as much as people want to laugh at it, I think that Tim Allen does have, quite a draw among people. And we, as a larger audience, it's that familiarity that's going to bring people in. Now, whether they'll stay is another thing altogether.
Man Up is, I don't know any of these actors. Chris Moynihan, I guess I know Chris Moynihan. Mathers Zickel and Dan Fogler, and the women in their lives, they're trying to survive as modern men. And you know what? I mean, then it just becomes, can't we we're just different. It's like, are you married, by the way?
Yes, I am, actually.
And you and your husband aren't always trying to figure out how to fit into each other's lives. Why don't they just have a real show where basically you say hello in the morning, and then that night you get back together, and no one knows what the other one did all day long?
Yeah,
I don't know what my wife. Do you have any? I left my wife this morning at 7:30. I will go back home about 8:00 tonight, and I haven't the faintest fucking idea what she was up to all day. Nor do I care. Nor does she ask me what I really did.
Boy, I can't wait to tune into that.
Two separate
that's a great show.
So there you go. There's a network pitch for you.
Well, no, but
hour that's like the flip side of, you have a one that skews towards women where you follow the wife, and then you have the next half hour follows what the man did.
That's a good one.
Together at the end of the day. There you go.
And you know what the name of the show is? What'd you do today? Not much. That's the name of the show. What'd you do?
Could you do something else? Make sure something else happens to you so we can have something to talk about.
Wait, no. Within the two lives, you'll see all of this that's happened. But then at night when they sit down with the kids, so what was your day like? And the guy goes, pretty normal. And what about you, sweetheart? Well, it was good, like that. That's the reality of it. The wife could be out, screwing the garbage man. The husband, could be, a sadomasochist, Ponzi schemer. And then at night when they get home, they don't talk about that stuff,
So basically you want a show that's going to be on HBO or Showtime, is what you're saying.
No, that's too bad, isn't it? It really shouldn't be that. What do you think of the letters? They say there are thousands of letters. And now, of course, this group of individuals that runs the television right-wing Christian
Parents
group.
Council or whatever.
Yeah, they have a mailer of millions now, and they're upset that Chaz Bono and other gays are going to be on Dancing with the Stars. That it's getting to be too gay.
Oh, well, I think that regardless, Dancing with the Stars is always going to cast people who are going to get people talking. Remember, there was Bristol Palin. And by the way, Chaz and Carson Kressley are not the first gay contestants on Dancing with the Stars. So I think
no. Well, what about the dancers?
Well, no, but
how many dancers do you meet? Hey, how you doing? Melanie, good meeting you. Those are the girls. Hey, Melanie, nice meeting you, Mel.
Well,
good strong handshake for an IBDM, IMBD. IDBM, IMDB. How are you? Like that. It is weird. And Modern Family is the -- show, and they don't let don't want gay people to marry, and ABC is really reacting to this whatever's happening to them. They're really reacting to it.
I mean, look, the bottom line is that even the people who are writing the letters are going to watch anyway, because they're, if they're watching the show, they're fans of the show, they can write their letters and declare that they're not going to watch, but they're going to watch because of, the reason a lot of people watch reality shows is that, particularly competitive reality, you don't just watch to see people win, you watch to see the people that you want to lose. And so I think that's, better for better or worse. I think a number of these claims when people saying in, blog commenting areas and through letters that they're not going to watch, that's, fine. I think
now, if I was producing that show, and I want to also, by the way, Melanie McFarland is the TV editor over at IMDB. What does that stand for, by the way?
Internet Movie Database.
Yeah, I pay some dues and I'm on that also. But, Chaz Bono, I would love to make fun of it, but every time I see him speak, it really looked like the right decision for him, right? So if I was producing the show, knowing that there's all of this craziness, I would have Chaz dance, and during the first dance that Chaz does, there would be a costume malfunction, and a fake penis would come flying out of his pants.
Oh, my goodness.
That's what I would do. And make and go, we'll be right back,
Yeah,
we'll be right
back. The show would be over. That, talk about the power of thousands upon thousands of letters to the FCC.
Now, wait a minute. Now, wait a second. Who is Chaz Bono dancing with? A male or a female? Do we know?
Well, Chaz Bono is dancing with a female dancer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. By the way, the voice here, that's Garrett Andritz, our producer, and then there's Kristina here. And so do you blog and do you comment on the shows, or you just list them? Do you tell people what you think?
I tell people what I think through the fall TV preview, and we do have a blog. Generally speaking, a lot of what I do is just making sure that the programs are curated, but one of the great things about the blog is that we do get to, weigh in and talk about, different, particularly if there are different shows that are making news, then, I can weigh in about them. So I think, for instance, if you really want to see what we're thinking about, what shows are going to do well in the fall, we have an entire fall TV preview at imdb.com/fall TV preview, and you can read all about, what shows we think are going to be successful this fall. Now, whether or not that's the case, that really depends on what people, the audience is, of course, the ultimate decider there.
I've read for a lot of these shows, and I didn't get the part, obviously, but I read to play Chelsea Handler's dad.
Oh.
Are You There? It's Me. Are You There, Vodka? It's Me, Chelsea. Right. Except she doesn't play herself. She plays her older sister.
Mm-hmm.
Because the conceit would have had to be that it would be Chelsea Handler, but she would only be 25 years old. And so they went, well, the people, they wouldn't understand that. So you can play your older sister. So they've hired a woman to play Chelsea Handler, and she's going to be writing. Yeah, she's going to be writing and producing a show about herself where she plays the older sister, and there's a woman playing her. I thought the script was weird, and I thought the concept was weird, and it's because they think the people watching are too stupid to understand that Chelsea was going back in time. I mean it. That's what they really think of the viewer, that they're stupid. Completely stupid.
I wish that I could completely disagree with you, because there are a number of shows where I've, that have been picked up, particularly, there's one in mid-season called Work It, which a number of critics are hoping and praying never see the light of day. But
what is Work It about?
That's the one I was telling you about, Jay.
Yeah, it's about a couple of men who decide to cross-dress to, essentially bosom buddies with linebackers. I mean, if you
two unemployed car salesmen, Amari Nolasco. Do we know him, Amari?
By the way, he was on Prison Break. He was Sucre on Prison Break. So this is not a small guy.
And then Ben Koldyke, Koldyke. That's his real name, Koldyke?
Chaz Bono's girlfriend.
So
we both were quiet on that one. Decided that in order to succeed, they must masquerade as women to get the competitive jobs as pharmaceutical reps.
Yeah.
And then they have a woman on there from Lost. So what they've done is they've taken people who were in dramas and said, look, to change your image, we're going to put you in this ridiculous sitcom. Wow.
I can't, if once you see the sitcom, I honestly can't fathom how any network executive could greenlight.
No, it's unbelievable.
You know, it's funny, like the head of ABC, he said, you know what, when I saw this, I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was hilarious specifically because I knew all of you, and he said this to a room full of critics, would hate it.
Well, that's stupid, though. It shouldn't be hilarious for that reason.
The other thing he said was that, but then again, I'm British, so since I'm British, that means that I have to at least clear one cross-dressing comedy as part of my career. And he was being completely, tongue-in-cheek, but he said this to a room full of, and it's one of those shows where even when you see the stills for it, it's frightening.
Well, then they really believe that Mad Men would have been a hit on regular TV, or they believe that lots of people like Mad Men. I've read that Mad Men, even though it's a critical success and advertisers like it, but it is, I think Jersey Shore has 8 or 9 times more viewers than Mad Men's ever had. And so now they've got Pan Am, which is about stewardesses with Christina Ricci, and then they have the Playboy Club. Mm-hmm. And this is just kind of about Mad Men, kind of. Isn't it, going back, in time, mid-century?
I would say of the two series of the two new shows that you just cited, Pan Am is the smarter of the two. And I think that, yes, there's a fascination with the kind of fashion and, cultural trappings in terms of stylistically of the 60s. But I think what Pan Am is doing, if anything, it's more of a throwback to this idea of travel being luxurious and exclusive. And it actually,
and the stewardesses getting their asses pat and banging the businessmen and the pilots, but they couldn't do that now because it would be. It's funny, they go back in time so they can show you a morals that still exist but aren't talked about.
Well, it's that, and by the way, the stewardess who had the affair with the married man and the pilot, that was one, and she ends up, at least emotionally paying a price in the end.
Of course, yeah.
It's not, so I think there are other things going on in the pilot. I mean, there's one who's trying to escape a marriage she doesn't want.
I met a stewardess 20 years ago. I've been married 20 years. I met a stewardess 20 years ago. I've been having a successful affair with her for 20 years. So that's not what happened. She has not been emotionally destroyed. Okay.
No,
we're very happy together. Very happy. My wife and I are very happy. You see, Garrett, the television is weird.
Yeah, I think the thing about Pan Am is, would Pan Am have been added to a network schedule without Mad Men? I can't say that for sure. I don't think so, because Mad Men, look, there are clothing lines that are based, that have made Mad Men as part of their brand, as I think last year's fall line. I can't remember which one it was. So, it definitely has an influence on the wider culture. So, obviously, whenever you have a show that is that successful and has that much of a pop culture impact, other networks are going to try and copy that success. So that's what Pan Am does initially, but I think it's a completely different show. The fact that you have, Thomas Schlamme, who was the executive producer of The West Wing, he is a director on that show, and he's also an executive producer. So you at least have a sense that there is a little bit of intelligence behind what's going on behind the scenes and in those scripts. I really thought the pilot, I've watched it several times, and each time I watched it, I liked it better. I cannot say the same as a Playboy Club, which is utterly and completely a pale clone of Mad Men. And, I've said this before, I'll say it again, like, if you want to watch it for the costumes, that's fine, but you'd be better off watching it on mute. Honestly.
But every week they wear the same thing, the bunny outfit.
Well, you get to see the bunny outfits, you get to see the completely, nicely styled hair, but the dialogue is really atrocious, and I really feel bad for Eddie Cibrian, because you can tell that, I don't know whether he was instructed to do so, but even in the pilot, all of his dialogue and just the way he speaks, the way he carries himself is so Don Draper-esque, but it doesn't have any of the kind of subtlety or, the kind of, intellectual depth that Don Draper's character has in Mad Men.
And you're wondering why an actor, the dumbest pieces of meat that have landed on Earth, why he's doing that? Because they're going like this. Oh, man. Wow. Listen, we gave you those notes. This is the character. I'm telling you what they're doing to the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And, he's so busy looking at himself in the mirror and listening to them they direct your ass out of the business if you let them. Now, let's look at some actors whose movie careers aren't doing well until they move to television. Okay? Amanda Peet. Okay? And by the way, I have not seen Amanda. You know what? She's not making a bunch of money in the movies. So they offer her, $100,000 a week. She's doing a mid-season replacement called Bent. Mm-hmm. I don't even like the title's terrible. Bent. Get bent. You know what I mean? That's an insult. Get bent.
Yeah, I don't think that, if you want to talk about a mid-season comedies, that one is one of those that is kind of, it could go either way. I was not terribly impressed by the pilot, but, it's not the absolute worst thing I've ever seen on the other hand.
No, but you know what? I mean, and it's okay. She's going to make a ton of money, but it's because, her movie, listen, movies are difficult to get,
Sure.
And, it's, also I feel the same way about, what's her name? Maria, is it Bello?
Maria Bello.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, she does do movies, but she probably doesn't make a bunch of money. So now she's in a cop show, right?
Well, it's a procedural, and it's based on, a role that was originated by Helen Mirren. So I don't think that was a bad decision.
She'll get tons of money. She'll get tons of money.
And
That's right.
It's going to be on NBC, which, Law and Order is no longer there. There's no longer Criminal Intent. The only Law and Order, the remainder of the franchise is Law and Order SVU, which is completely character-driven. So picking up Prime Suspect, which has, her in the center of a completely character-driven procedural, is probably the right thing for NBC. And Prime Suspect, regardless of whether you have actually seen the British original, it has some familiarity as a brand. So I think that, that was a good decision for Maria Bello. But one of the things I was going to say, in reply to what you're saying about movie actors coming to television because they have flagging careers, then how would you explain Kat Dennings in Two Broke Girls? Kat Dennings is not at the end of her career. In fact, she's at the very beginning, and she was in Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. People know her. She was just in Thor. She was a co-star in that. So I'm not sure that the decision for an actor that's mainly known for movies.
You know what? She's young, right? She's young, right?
That's true.
Yeah, you know what that is? That's like we're going to put you on TV, and it's a sitcom, right? Probably a sitcom.
It is a sitcom, yeah.
Right. Uh-huh. That's a thing that a manager or an agent sold to her, and CBS is probably paying her a stupid amount of money. And so that is different, but that's like putting the people from Lost in a sitcom. That's like trying to change their image or expand it or get
comedic. Yeah, Sherry was known for having a comedic. She's a good comedic actress. So, and look, you can say that it may work the opposite ways depending on how far along you are in your career and your age. So if you're saying that Kat Dennings is the fact that she's on a sitcom is not going to damage her career and it's not indicative of whether
it won't. No, it won't hurt her career because she's young. Yeah, right. She's young.
So okay. Then you also have Jason Segel, who was on Freaks and Geeks and has found some great success in these roles. I mean, he's kind of like he's like this generation's like on the same level as Paul Rudd in terms of being able to helm movies, but he's been on How I Met Your Mother and for many a season. And so,
by the way, every time I watch that show, ever since the star announced he was gay, I keep wanting them to change the title. Like, when am I going to tell your mother I'm gay? So it ruined it for me. ruined it. I believe you keep your personal life personal. I don't want to know it'd be like Chaz Bono if I didn't know anything about Chaz and they go, I used to be a girl. You know what I'm saying?
I think you're missing out on one of the best comedic performances on television, Ben, because Neil Patrick Harris in that show is not only, just a great character, but it doesn't, the great thing about him being open as a gay man is that it proves that it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. If you're able to play this role,
it ruined Rupert Everett.
That was
it ruined him
time ago. Yeah,
no, but I'm saying even now you see Rupert Everett with any other.
But it didn't ruin Neil Patrick Harris.
It absolutely ruined him. Maybe not for that sitcom.
It might have personally ruined him for you, but he's the host of multiple award shows.
That's gay. That's gay also. That's gay also. That's funny. I didn't say he wasn't a good person. You just can't be in a show with that title.
He's fantastic on How I Met Your Mother.
I think it's a better show if Wait Till I Tell Your Mother I'm Gay. That's funnier to me than How Did I Meet Your Mother, which is boring. It would be like a werewolf. I'd rather be a werewolf show. Wait till your mom finds out I'm a werewolf. That would be a funny show to me. Well,
I
got a whole different thing.
Teen Wolf on MTV then.
I love Teen Wolf. Now listen, what is suburgatory?
Wow.
What is suburgatory? What is that?
Suburgatory?
That's the title of a show, Suburgatory.
Yes, it's called Suburgatory. It stars Jeremy Sisto, and he...
Coming down. Hold it. Where's that elevator going? Coming down. When you have a shitty career like mine, wherever I turn up, they go, that little lucky bastard. So it makes no difference. But Jeremy Sisto, that's coming down.
I don't know. I think...
Suburgatory?
I think it's going to fit in really well on, it's the hammock show between How I Met Your Mother in the middle. So
I'm going to have you back on in a few months, and I'm either going to apologize to you or tell you what a genius you are.
You know what? I welcome it. I would love to talk to you again in a few months, and we can laugh and cry together about this.
I hate to say this, but I'm going to tell you the shows, and I still get called, but I don't. And it's because I'm not on so much anymore. I don't. Are You There, Vodka? It's Me. I read for that. I read for Awake.
Fine show, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I didn't get it. I read.
Is that rubbing it in?
I read for How to Be a Gentleman. I read to be Kevin Dillon's dad. I just read for that.
Dodged a bullet there.
But you know what? As we're all sitting in that room, all of us. And there were probably 50, 60 guys in New York. There were 50, 60 guys in L.A. None of us said a word about what a piece of shit the script was. None of us. We didn't. None of us. We would have taken that job in 5 minutes. That's the sad part. I'm not joking. Why do you laugh at that? It's what you have to do. You get the script.
I don't doubt it.
You have to do it.
That's you're going for a role, and you've got to look. I completely get it, but the fact of the matter is, you're absolutely right in that assessment.
No, and if they listen to this show, hopefully I know they're not listening. They're filming without me, but if they're listening to the show, I could get. I guess they, it's happened before where they've gone, Jay said some shit, and I've gotten in trouble for doing it. So yeah. But it is sad because as an actor, you know the English actor Colm Meaney. You know him?
Oh yeah, he's going to be in Hell on Wheels.
That's right.
Yes.
I'm sitting with Colm Meaney and about 4 or 5 other award-winning movie actors, but they're character actors. And Garrett, I want to say that I'm there with Bobcat Goldthwait. Okay, we're all about to read for the worst piece of shit. And there's such good actors in that room. And I'm looking at Colm Meaney and going, Jesus, And he goes, can you believe it? And I'm reading for this piece of shit. Like that. That's how they talk. And then the girl comes out and she goes, Colm Meaney, oh, hello, how are you? Yeah. You have, it's unbelievable. I would say 90% of the stuff you read for on television is awful. And it's weird. Who the fuck's picking this stuff? You know,
it's a tough business.
Well, the movies are better. You know, you read for, decent movies. You know, it's weird. Yeah. And then you hand your scripts in and they go, it's no good. You want to go, how would you know? If you let that other shit on, how would you know this is bad? You know.
What's going to happen with The Office?
Wonder why I don't work more, huh, Melanie?
I think that you should definitely consider doing that show that you pitched earlier. I think it would really have some legs.
What was the show?
You've got to make sure that you do it exactly as you say.
What was it? Where the wife and the husband don't know what the other one's doing all day long.
Exactly, and then make sure that, as you say, it's as freaky and like, oh my goodness, what's going on in the basement, as you say. And
do you know exactly what your husband's been doing since 10 this morning?
I think I do. Yeah.
What's he been? What do you think he's been doing?
I'm pretty sure he's sitting in an office talking to people.
But the things he's saying and who he really is
I don't
when he's
know.
not with you.
I have no idea what he's saying now. But
when I get with my male friends, we say such horribly chauvinistic, evil stuff. And some of these guys...
Really?
Yes.
You.
Now, my wife with her girlfriends, I have no idea what the real I'd have to hire women to write it, certainly. I have no idea what they could be talking about. Now, when Sex in the City was written by gay men, and that's how gay men talk. The way those 4 women talk is how gay men talk. But women, including my wife, and me too, we love that show. But I know gay guys, and that's how they talk about sex. I don't know if women do that all the time. I don't know. Kristina, you're single. Do you and your girlfriends talk like Sex in the City? Do you? Is that
a little bit? Not
a little bit, but not as much, right?
Well, we're pretty raunchy.
Okay,
you talk about like your boyfriend's penis size to them and stuff.
Well,
like
no,
that?
because my boyfriend's sister is in that conversation, and I keep that out.
All right. But Melanie, you know what I'm saying, right?
I do. And, if you actually should hire a large number of women, because there are several studies that have come out that female writers are very underrepresented, particularly.
Oh yeah, no. But I work for I work for Diane English.
So
Yeah, I worked for Diane English for years.
Oh, there you go.
Elaine Pope was a writer of. I have had many more women affect my radio and TV career than men. Many more. Mm-hmm. Agents, general managers, owners of stations, women I worked with and worked for, and who wrote great stuff for me. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't have that I don't have that prejudice at all.
Yeah, no. So that's why I'm saying, what you should do is create your own show.
Yeah. Well, the one I pitched years ago was, I thought O.J. Simpson told a great story, and I thought the cops also told a great story, and that should have been the movie. The first hour is what O.J. said happened, and the second hour is what the cops said happened. They never made that movie, which I thought was odd.
They never made that movie?
They never made that. Well, no, that's a good one, though, because, the cops told the story, went, oh, he's guilty, and then the other side told their story, and the jury went, well, gee, they planted the gloves, and the guy was a racist. And if you'd have seen that side of the movie played out, it would have totally confused you, And I was going to play Robert Shapiro.
That's the feeling I want to get out of a movie. Total confusion.
Total confusion. Okay.
Well, hold on.
Listen.
What's going to happen with The Office? Who's the new Michael Scott?
So that's the question, because James Spader character is actually taking over the entire company and not just The Office. So that's the big mystery this fall, is who is going to head up The Office.
So you have no rumors or anything?
I couldn't tell you. They've been keeping that under wraps, which I think is a really smart thing. But I'm actually excited to kind of see what James Spader does with this role, because
he's the best.
Now, is this the last season of it, or they didn't say that yet?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Is it the last season of The Office, or they haven't said?
They have not. They have not said that. I think that they're trying to keep it going as long as they can, which is quite obvious in the fact that they're hiring. They hired James Spader, which is a really high-profile hire, for this series. So,
well, Melanie, I'm going to tell you a James Spader story. You ready?
Oh, okay.
They hired me to do Boston Legal. Was it last year? What was the last year of Boston Legal? Was it last year? So it's toward the end. 2 years ago.
Now.
2 years ago. So they hired me to do Boston Legal, and I know Bill Shatner, but I auditioned for the thing, and they hire me, and it's a funny episode, and I go and having a great time, and James Spader is there, and so you meet him. He's never heard of you or anybody else, doesn't know who anybody is, and so we have scenes together. We're talking. He's a nice guy, and I'm very relaxed on a set. I'm relaxed. So there are chairs put up, and we're shooting at a dude ranch, or we're shooting at Disney. We're supposed to fly to Utah, but I guess too much money or some bullshit. So there's some chairs, right? And they'll have actors' names on them, but if those actors aren't around and you've got 30 or 40 minutes to wait, you'll just sit in somebody's chair, right? So James Spader's chair was a little different than everybody else's. It was like more comfortable, this chair. So
very ergonomically correct.
Yes, but it was a director's chair. It was high off the ground. We're outside. It's hot. So I see that chair. He's not in the scene. So I sit in his chair, and I'm reading my script and getting ready and all. And so a few minutes later, he walks by the set, and he's got the makeup on. He's got the tissues in his neck. He's not in the scene, but he looks over, and he sees me sitting in his chair.
Uh-oh.
And he walks on. I didn't think anything of it. A few minutes later, somebody comes up to me and said, "Do you know you're sitting in James's chair?" I said, "Yeah." He doesn't like that. Doesn't like that. So I get out of the chair, and I move to some other chair. And later on, I see him in the scene, and I go, "Man, look, I sat in your chair. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it." That night, about an hour later, I saw that chair on the back of a truck being taken away, and it was fumigated. He took the chair. He's a germaphobe, and he had them spray it with an they disinfected the chair because I sat in it. Oh yeah. Oh
well,
man.
He doesn't know where your buttocks had been.
No, not at all. But it was one of the proudest moments I've ever had. That he fumigated the chair after I.
On the wall.
Yeah, that's a proud moment. Proud moment.
Just sitting in it again after they cleaned it?
No. Even though the show was getting canceled, I didn't want to make, any real trouble. I mean, basically I'm a chicken shit, except on this show.
Well, I think I don't know if they're going to be, I have no idea what's going on the set with.
The chart. Wait a minute. 2.5 Men. I think that's a terrible choice.
Thing I was going to ask about. So you
Ashton Kutcher. Oh my God!
Veteran shows coming back that are making major cast changes. That lots of people were talking about. One is James Spader with The Office. So I think that's going to be an interesting one to see. But I think that there are going to be many more people that are going to be curious to see how Ashton Kutcher fits into that cast. So, I think it's very interesting to hear, because no one's, they're keeping that first episode under wraps, which I think is really smart. No one's really, there haven't been many or any clips that come out about it. So I think it's really going to be dependent initially as to how curious people are about how he's going to fit in. But also, I think a lot of people have either already decided, like, I'm going to watch because I'm curious, or I'm not going to watch because I don't like Ashton Kutcher, which I think...
Well, they also passed over...
for them, but it's going to be a bit of an issue.
They passed over the fact that John Cryer is really funny.
Oh, and he's hilarious, yeah.
And they should have made the little boy a drug addict and a womanizer.
Yeah,
they shouldn't have hired anybody else.
That would have gone over really well with the CBS.
No, the little boy gets a drug problem, drinking.
Let's really think about that.
They should have replaced the little boy with a handsome, thinner kid, right? And said, he grew up and look how handsome he is. And then the little boy, or give that kid a personality, even though he's fat and ugly, that people can't, they can't deny how fat, whatever it is. He's got some fabulous thing going. Have him be a drunk and a womanizer. Now there's your show.
No,
right
I think
not Ashton Kutcher.
I think that one of the things that the kid adds to the dynamic is that he, is this great kind of weird, deadpan presence that was that if you took that away and made him unpleasant, then I think that whatever charm
Charlie Sheen was not unpleasant. Charlie Sheen was unpleasant to women, but to men, he was a hero. That's how men want to live. So everybody was acting like he was a negative.
But the thing about,
he's not a negative.
But the thing that you have about the kid is that the kid is this perfect, perfectly torn between these two men. He doesn't want to be kind of this, very manners-driven, but to many of us, namby-pamby kind of dad that John Cryer's character is. But at the same time, Charlie Sheen's character, Charlie Harper, is not, doesn't have that enviable of a life either. So, I mean, I think that you have to have that character in between the two. I think that what's going to be interesting to see is how they're going to replace Charlie Harper's dynamic with Walden Schmidt. Like, what kind of guy is Walden Schmidt?
Walden Schmidt is the name of the character.
A clone of Charlie Sheen, because if he is, then they're going to have problems because, a number of people are just saying, okay, so he's a pale imitation of Charlie Harper and Charlie Sheen.
What did we just talk about earlier about the character from Mad Men and the guy that you were talking about in...
so Eddie Cibrian's character...
That's exactly what's going to happen. And Ashton Kutcher...
It could happen,
but Ashton Kutcher is the typical empty-suited guy to do this. He's going to do it for them. First of all, if you really are loaded and have why would you replace Charlie Sheen? It's the weirdest... Why would you even do that to yourself?
Why would you replace Charlie Sheen?
No, why would Ashton Kutcher... No, but why? But why would you, as an actor, why would you join that show?
Ambulatory, you probably should not be in the middle of a major.
No, but why would any actor with any self-respect go in after Charlie Sheen? That's the real thing. It's like, why? Stupid. It's a dumb move.
Up the Brinks truck, and
Yes, they paid him a bunch of money, but he doesn't need the money. He's doing great. He's doing fine.
No, he has a chance to be part of a memorable sitcom. I wouldn't say it's going to go down in the Comedy Hall.
He's the new Darren. Are you kidding?
He is.
He'll never.
No, absolutely. I
the new Darren.
But I think
terrible.
But I think that any act there are probably a number of actors who, as soon as they knew that Charlie Sheen was not coming back, were telling their agents to call up CBS and offer their services.
Well, as soon as I found out the actor in Treme was dead, I had my agent call him. That's the truth.
No, well,
that's the truth. Well,
we believe you.
You've got
I did it.
Timing, I got to say.
Well, he's dead. He was listen, they brought his body up out of the Mississippi River, and my 8x10 was on its way. And in your computer when it goes whoosh like that, that's where it was going. Yeah.
Wow.
That's true. Well, look, I did it. Sure. But I'm from New Orleans, so I felt as though I deserved it. Well, listen, thank you very much, Melanie McFarland.
Thank you.
IMDB's TV editor, and we'll find out, won't we?
Yes, and I hope you do check out the Fall TV Preview, and it's really easy. It's imdb.com/Fall TV Preview. So check it all out.
And do not watch Hello Vodka, It's Me. Do not watch the other shows that I named.
Awakening.
Whatever it is, because they can all go fuck themselves. All right? That's how I feel.
Well, you
don't think I'm not angry and disappointed? I'm really angry and disappointed that I didn't make it. I am so, on a daily basis, this is what it's like to be me. Okay?
Okay, well then channel that anger into the what did you do today, not much sitcom.
You like that show, don't you? You do like that. Okay, I'll do that.
I'm going to, I mean,
Don't you dare steal it. No, you steal it, make it a hit. I'll sue you. I'll make more money. All right. See you later. Bye-bye.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear.
I was just saying to Kristina, Garrett, when you were not listening, a buddy of mine and I went out to play golf one day, and two other guys who were on vacation in Santa Barbara said, hey, can we join up with you? So we all playing together, and these were young, handsome, stockbroker type guys, right? Their wives were in town shopping, right? Mm-hmm. And so they said all sorts of typical misogynistic things about their wives. and how they were filling their credit cards up and how they were this and that. And so my buddy and I, you know, we're playing. And then these guys, when they would miss a putt or something would go wrong, every curse they had was the most vile thing you could say about a woman. Every missed shot had something about a woman in it, okay? Mm-hmm. And when it was over, my buddy said, Jesus, those guys, I said, I know they were these two, I don't know what they're, not women hater. Everything they said was bad about women. And we knew good and well that their wives never heard them talk like this.
Oh, right?
Never. And women are stunned at the assholes that they're married to. And most of them are a member of country clubs and play golf.
Just ask my girlfriend.
What do you mean?
Remember when we read that erotic novel and the lady used cunt muscle?
Yes.
So I posted cunt muscle on my Facebook page or whatever.
Are you nuts?
She calls me and goes, I think your Facebook page has been hacked. And I'm like, why?
By the real Garrett.
She's like, there's disgusting words written on there. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, the C-1-T word.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, no, I wrote that. And she was like, why? She couldn't understand it.
Wait, she doesn't know you? I don't understand.
No.
Exactly.
No, of course not. And you know what? Thank God. You know, true. Kristina,
what?
You don't want to know who your spouse or lover is.
I do.
You just want them to act the way you want them to act when you're together.
No.
Other than that,
that's not what I want at all.
I could care less who my wife is, as long as when I get home, she bullshits me.
What if she was like you, and she had all these little side pieces, and she was just doing her thing? How would you feel about that?
I don't have any side pieces.
I'm just saying, let's say in your fantasy world that you have here, where you love people and don't tell her, what would she say if you
but you know what? You're hung on that. I said that if you do stuff, no one should know about it. Obviously, if I was doing something, my mouth would be completely shut for fear someone would go, hey, I bet he's doing something. No. And no one's ever called up here and go, oh, I see you all the time with other women. No, it's not true. It doesn't happen. If it was happening, never hear me talk about it again. Ever. Ever. Never comment on it. My wife never comments.
You don't know your wife. Of course. I was married and didn't know him, and that's why we're divorced now. It was terrible.
No, because then he let you see himself. That's why. What he needed to do was, when you said, I want to be in radio, he needed to go like, wow, great. Wow, I love you so much. Hug you. And then making a face into the mirror that only he can see, he goes, oh, my God, what a fucking idiot. I mean, that's what I'm like. I walk out of the door after I hear whatever bullshit was going on in my house, and I get in the car and I go, what fucking idiots. Not to their faces, nor do I ever act like I'm thinking that about them. Ever.
I'm wondering why you've never been struck by lightning.
Look, your family says ridiculous shit to you, right? Your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, your boyfriend, they say completely ridiculous shit. And if you get in a conversation, it's going to get worse. So you go, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from. And, all right, cool. And that makes them happy. It's not going to happen. People fight over shit that never happens. Well, I am going to do that, and no one's going to stop me. Well, it doesn't happen. So 2 weeks later, you go, hey, the big fight you had with your wife? Yeah, I went to buy the boat. It was, it was too expensive. Like that. Right? But didn't you have a big fight with your wife about the boat and everything? Yeah. But then, when I looked at it, and they mean it. They made the decision on their own. You have to trust that they're not going to make ridiculous fucking decisions, even though they say ridiculous shit all the time. I think my wife knows that about me and her children, and I think I know it about my kids and my wife will say stuff that I have to do immediately. Let's just take the dishwasher. You ready? You ready for the dishwasher? You want to hear it? Okay. All right. Should we go to break?
Yes.
All right. Okay. When we come back, I will show you in action how I handled it in a week filled with so much money being poured into automobiles, into colleges, into dishwashers, into coverings for chairs, into drapes. In a week that I don't remember having a week where so much fucking money was leaving my pocket. Stay where you are. Okay. So all the cars blew up in 1 week. All the 5 and 10-year-old cars that I have. And so my wife wants to go to the most expensive mechanic in town or the dealership. I go to Jimmy Jimenez, okay? And Jimmy does a great job. She doesn't want to go to Jimmy Jimenez. It's really a tire shop, and Jimmy will do, fix cars, right? So I take my car over there and spend $800 or $900. It was still expensive. All the tubes, the pipes, 90,000 miles on it. She takes hers. It's like 3,000, 2,000, whatever the fuck it is, thousands of dollars. So my kid's car, they break. We're spending all this money. So I'm chilling through it. The dishwasher breaks. The dishwasher cost $800 or $900 6 years ago. Guy comes, $500 to fix it because of the parts. She finds a $1,300 dishwasher, Garrett. Brand new. $1,300. I go, I think we ought to fix it for $500 and not buy a new one for $13. And she goes, really? I did all this research. I know, but you know what? I bet you we're going to get 5 solid. You know what I'm really thinking? Are you fucking nuts? 500 versus 13 fucking hundred? Are you nuts? I think if we pay the 5 now and we get 5 more years out of it, then we spend $1,000 maybe. You stupid fucking idiot. You put soap in the fucking thing. You press a couple of buttons. Why don't we wash a couple by hand and not every 2 cups at a... I really believe that's a better way for us to go. Okay?
Let's go get